Well. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the reaction, which is normally Brian Islands. But me and my good friend Jonny here wanted to go live to let out some anger, to discuss another embarrassment and another day in paradise at the shit show that is Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Jonny, first of all, how are you, my very good friend?
I'm raging, man. I'm absolutely raging. I've just come off the Twitter Spaces, so if I sound a little bit hoarse, I've been on, I think, since about 60 minutes into the game. I couldn't watch it anymore. Humiliation. That was humiliation. Humiliation for the fans. I feel sorry. I'd just like to say for the fans who travelled there today, hats off to you. They should get reimbursed for that trip. And I hope that the players after that game, I was hearing that Harry Kane stopped the players going down the tunnel because they were all going to traipse off down the tunnel as if it meant nothing, right? He sent them back out to greet the fans, whatever fans were happened to be left there. It's a disgrace, heartless, passionateless, everything that we knew. And some of the fans' behaviour today on Twitter was disgraceful, targeting players like Papa Sarr, a 20-year-old kid, as if he was the solely responsible for that disgusting performance, disgraceful performance today. But the man at the top is the man who's overseen this farce, this fiasco that we are now find ourselves in.
Yep, I've got to say, I'm not going to say. Do you know, someone actually phoned me. I'm happy you spoke about the fans, because after we've done this, everyone will know on this channel, a very, very dear friend of mine, a brother to me, Ryan Isaacs, who's part of this channel, went to Newcastle, and he's given me an instant match reaction video, which is 4 minutes, 50 seconds long, which we're going to play, and then me and Jonny will come back. But before I play that, I had a fan who I speak to regularly on Twitter say, Brian, when you get a second, can you call me? Because I need you to call me on this number. So I was like, okay, I'm just going on We Are Tottenham TV. Let me give you a call. Finished my bit, called him, and he had, like one of Billy Khan's flags, the Enoch out with the money floating down.
I heard about this. Yeah.
And someone came up to him. It said Enoch out, Levy out, with a picture of Daniel Levy and a picture of Joe Lewis with money. And it's a Newcastle steward came up to him after a Newcastle steward and a Spurs steward came to him and said, "You need to take that flag down. You're being anti-Semitic."
It's a racist comment because it's Jews and money.
Yes, and do you know what? Thankfully, there was a Jewish fan right behind him and told the stewards where to do one. I will give a goddamn spoiler. I am coming in on Thursday. I will get a banner in. And I would love one of the stewards to come and tell me to my face that I'm being anti-Semitic. But before I play this video, I just want to say big up to Strasbourg Steve for a super chat. Wow, my Geordie boys are stunning. You lot are in big, big trouble. I'm talking Everton level decay in the next decade. Mate, first of all, thank you for the super chat. Love the stuff you do. And we're... Jonny, it's getting bad, isn't it? I mean, obviously, people go, "Oh no, Everton have got no money. Look at us, we're a World One club."
But listen, at least Everton fans have got together. What amazes me is the amount of fans who seem to find it easier to attack a 20-year-old Papa Sarr today, or a Davinson Sanchez, or an Emerson Royal, or anything and everything other than the management. Listen, we've got no first team manager. We've got no ladies team manager, right? We've got no director of football. Our ladies team's on the verge of relegation. Our under 21s, the heart and soul of the future of this club, is on the verge of relegation. If our under 21s are relegated, then what father or what agent is going to want a 16 to 20-year-old player top talent to come to this club to play in the Championship. They're not. They're not. Everything is in absolute meltdown. There's no plan B. Why would you sack Conte and put in Conte Mark II light? I feel sorry for Stellini. I feel sorry in some respects for Stellini, but when I saw that lineup today, a 4-3-3, you're playing Porro, who can't defend. I'm sorry, you know, I could see you've only got to watch Y-Scout to see that he cannot defend. Perisic has never played left back in his life, and you play Porro in the back of a diamond at a 3, and you're amazed that the whole thing goes to pot. The whole thing goes to shit in 5 goals in 20 minutes. It was humiliation. And when he took Sarr off, it seemed to the uninitiated Spurs fan, and I'm not casting aspersions here, but that he was the person that was at fault. We had Hugo Flapianski. I put a post on Twitter. I had to take it down. Why? Because the amount of abuse the tweet got, just because I pointed out that I thought Hugo had been poor.
He's done. I've been saying it for months.
But why aren't they attacking the management, right, and the hierarchy for what's going on?
Yep. Well, listen, what I do want to say, there's already 127 people in the chat. The chat is going flying. Sorry if I'm not bringing any chats up at the moment. It's just Jonny and I have got a lot to get off our plate. And I do see a lot of people saying, can I come on and join? Listen, I am going to put the link out and people can come and join Jonny and I a little bit into this show, but we've got a lot to talk about. Now, if anyone wants to, I'm going to now play, because I want to get this out, this 4-minute video. It's 4 minutes, 51 seconds from...
Time for a pee break.
Pee break, coffee break, whatever it may be.
Not for the viewers.
A beloved member of this channel and a beloved member of Levy Out and a brother to me, Ryan Isaacs, who goes length and breadth of this country like thousands others that should be refunded, has given this message. I haven't seen it, so enjoy, and then we'll be back.
I have just got out the ground about 15 minutes ago. I am here with Graham.
Oh, yeah.
For Levy Out. Come on. We have just come out of an absolute shit show where it has ended Newcastle United 6, Tottenham Hotspur, or should I say Enoch Investment FC 1. We were 5-0 down after 18 minutes. And you've still got fans that will back the players. You've still got fans that will back the board. And you will still have fans that will back the regime. Wake up! Wake the fuck up! And realise that this is going to continue. This club is a shit show from top to bottom. Every single one of those players should be made to walk home. Walk home. You had fans walking out after 15 minutes, spending £300, £400 just to get up here on the trains and accommodation and spending money. It is an absolute joke. And you've got the audacity, some players to come out and say, you can't abuse the players. These bloody prima donnas are so well protected. It is a joke. It's a shambles. And you're allowing it. Daniel Levy, get out of this club now. I expect minimum 100, 150 of you that feel the same way that are going Thursday. Yes, I know work commitments, but get down to the protests, get opposite that club shop and stand there with pride. If you want your Tottenham back, get out there, because nothing's changing. Nothing is changing at this football club while Daniel Levy is in charge. End of story. We are a joke. We are an embarrassment. It is a shit show. Fucking hell, wake up! Everyone fucking wake up and smell it. Because without Harry Kane's goals, right now we're in 18th place. 18th. When Harry Kane leaves in the summer, we are going to be in a relegation battle. Mark my words. We all know this. You just don't want to open up and see it. It's as simple as that. Daniel Levy has let this club rot, has let this club fester. And I am ashamed to be a Spurs fan. Embarrassing. Completely and utterly embarrassing. And you'll still hear this club come out with the tweets going, On to the next game. We're getting bantered by Newcastle fans. Last year, they didn't have a win in their first 18 games.
Cheers, mate.
But the new owners came in, changed everything. Yes, people will say, well, who do you want? It's not up to us. It's never been up to us to pick the owners. It's up to us, though. It's up to us to hound out the current owners. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, yes, we are. I am sick to death of this club. I will be there at Manchester United at home. Will be there at Anfield. And by God, those players better fucking turn up. And they better show some fucking balls for once. Because every single one of those 11, 12, 13, 14 players, the coaching staff seems to have been castrated because they don't have a set of nuts on them. Would you like to finish with anything? There's the rant over.
I'm too upset for that.
You've got Graham here, who's been lifelong Spurs fan, home and away for 40, 50 years. Is that the worst you've seen it in the first 20 minutes?
Yes, without a doubt.
When you have fans walking out after 15 minutes, the longest trip of the season, you know you've got something wrong at the club. When you've got your club captain allegedly refusing to come out after the second half because he's had a bust up and refusing to come out when you're 5-0 down, something is wrong. Something is very wrong at this football club, and it starts at the top and it works its way down from the club to the board, to the owner, to the chairman, to the medical team, to the coaching staff, to the squad, to the under-18s, to the under-21s, to the under-10s. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. It's as simple as that. If you want change at this club, and by God, I'm saying this straight right now, none of this change for Tottenham. That's change for Tottenham, what you just saw on the TVs, and if you're in the ground here in Newcastle. That's change for Spurs. That's Levy. If you change for Spurs, you're Levy in the story. The only change that Spurs fans should want is Levy out. He doesn't have a footballing brain cell in his mind. End of story. Subscribe, like, share. I know if Brian Daigle will be going off on one as well, so good luck to him. I know you're all pissed off as much as I am. But as always, Levy out.
Well, first of all, that's what we've got to deal with. This, and listen, we're going to cover a multitude of things here, and rest assured there will be a Brian Daigle Levy rant here, or two, or three, and I'm sure Jonny will pitch in as well. But Jonny, you're a fan that goes normally length and breadth of the country, Europe, everything. If this club does not come out, I swear to God, and Strasbourg, Steve, thanks once again, mate. It was a class video. Big up my brother Ryan. We'll have that out eventually. I'll get Ireland.
We need a statement. There needs to be a club statement. And what is the chances of Levy giving us a club statement? We've had to wait weeks for Paratici. We had to wait 2 weeks for Conte to get sacked with no plan in place. You know, are we surprised? Are we surprised that we got this shit show today?
Joe,
really?
let me just hold you up for 1 second, because I want to talk about this dude very, very quickly. Because this guy I see very, very regularly on We Are Tottenham TV, and likes to give this every single time, not with just me, anything to do with Levy. I can't say what I want to say on We Are Tottenham TV. This is my channel, I am part of this channel. If you can tell me one thing to be optimistic and proud of right now, let me know.
Rays of Sunshine Daigle. He's having a dig.
This guy is on We Are Tottenham TV. No matter what, after the Cambridge interview, Levy was speaking wonderful things and he was doing really well and everything. It's not Levy, it's this, it's that. This guy is everywhere, but he does this.
Because you know why, Brian? You know why, Brian? Because it's easier to target yourself or any other group that's not happy, rather than to listen to what they're actually saying. Okay.
I apologise for interrupting you. Go back to you. Go back to you about the statement.
No, I just feel that we're owed a statement. We're owed more than this. The club is in the worst mess that I can ever remember. I mean, how can we have Stellini as our manager? I mean, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I would have brought in Harry Redknapp for the last 10 games. He would have been a breath of fresh air First of all, the fans would have loved him. The players would have loved him because he would have been old school. He would have rid all the toxicity. How many times do you sack the manager? I'm trying to think of another time where you sacked the manager, but you've kept all of the manager's staff in place. You normally have the caretaker manager. So, if you went to the bookmakers at the time Conte was being sacked, Stellini they weren't even offering odds on Stellini. The odds were on Ryan Mason taking over temporary charge until a manager was installed. All we've got is a guy playing the same system. And, what did he do? Did he look on Twitter to see some of the idiots who were turning around saying, we should play 4-4-2? When I saw 4-4-2 today, I knew carnage was incoming. Porro can't defend. Perisic is not a left back. We all know about Dyer. We all know about Dyer. Højbjerg, it was such an abject performance today. Same players, same result, same everything. Eat, sleep, repeat. And, he should be walking tonight, Stellini. He should be going with all Conte's men, right? I don't care what happens now. I don't care if we're 8th or 9th. I don't care. Play the bloody kids. I don't care. I don't care anymore. The season is over as far as I'm concerned. It's been shambolic. And anyone think this is something new? It's not. I remember watching that game against Southampton, the first game of the season, and we conceded that early goal and we ended up winning. Was it 4-1?
4-1.
4-1. And everyone around me was going, we were fantastic. I said, are you joking? That was shocking. Do you know how bad this Southampton team are? And I got caned. And every week from there on, I could see the seeds were being sown. The setup, I could see what was coming for the rest of the season. And now it's all coming to pass. It really is awful.
Yep. So you know what you got to remember as well? This Bournemouth team just got thumped by West Ham 4-0. Got thumped. Absolutely thumped by West Ham. But I want to go back to the statement. How, if these fans are if there isn't a gesture, I swear to God, if I see tomorrow, like Ryan said, we learn from this or we move on or anything, this is just the level of disrespect. And people think I go mad about Levy just because of what's going on the pitch. Very, very, very far from it. It's what he does off the pitch and how he treats the fans as well. If there's not a statement, then I just don't know. But then let's get on before we go bashing Levy and going in for this hard, which I will be very, very much so. Jonny, have you ever seen a 20 minutes like it? Ever?
It was the worst 20 minutes of football that I can remember. It was humiliating. I actually thought that we would concede 3 or 4 goals today. I thought we would get beat as soon as I saw the team. I was pleased to see Papa Sarr given minutes, but then I felt like guilt because it was lambs to the slaughter, because as soon as he was taken off, it just seemed like that he was the person responsible, and as soon as he was taken off, it would all be okay again. It wasn't. I got to tell you though, Davinson Sanchez, right? He came on. The player ridicule last week that was booed off by our own fan base, he actually played well when he came on. All right. In fact, he stopped even more goals coming through. But that's by the by. It was just the worst 20 minutes I've ever seen. There was no, when those first 2 went in, I didn't see anyone grabbing hold of anyone and saying, come on. I didn't see a huddle. I didn't see, come on, let's snap out of this. I saw Eric Dyer scratching his bollocks, right? Okay. Like he was in the park, just casual, like nothing to worry about. I'm going to get paid at the end of the week.
Yep.
Where's the respect? Where's the playing for the badge? I'm better off to play for the Nike badge. But this badge means something to me. It's my religion, right? It's my religion. I got a whole load of stick before on Twitter because they called me a hypocrite because I'm fuming. I'm fuming at Levy and everything that's gone on with ENIC and how it's been run, but I'm still going to the game on Thursday. Because I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I stick by my club. I can still rant and still be angry.
Just want to say, big everyone give Ryan some love. I don't know how long he's been in here, but for that video that he put out, and he's asking that because we've had a bet. We've had 2 bets. I already owe him a Chinese. We bet Chineses. But he bet me before Southampton that we'd win 8 of our last 11 because he wanted to be confident. Well, that was wrong. And he's also got a bet, so he now owes me no Chinese, or I don't owe him a Chinese. But the final bet we'll
be lucky to win another game.
He thinks we're going to win at Anfield. We've got a bet that we're not going to lose at Anfield. I've got the loss. He's got the draw and the win. And I think he's just realised. But mad love, Ryan, for that incredible video. Another thing
I was at Liverpool when we lost 7-0.
I think that could be. I think that could be coming again. I think it could be coming again. But do you know the thing that's annoyed me with this? I don't want to get into the Sarr abuse because these fans are just. I don't get it. But what I don't get is thank you very much, Wolfie, for the super chat. Thank you very much indeed. Big up to me, Jonny and Ryan. Big up. And everyone, that's Johnny's Twitter handle next to it. He lost his main Twitter account in dubious circumstances. So he started again.
For posting a keepy uppy video of Ancelotti. Big up Elon Musk for your bots, for cancelling accounts, for the most pathetic things. Meanwhile, on Twitter, you've got people abusing racism, sexism, and the likes. But no, ban me for a keepy uppy video. So
that's where you can find his new Twitter handle. He's the ringmaster of spaces. If anyone does Twitter spaces, this is Johnny the Legend. But yeah, I want to talk about Pape Matar now. I got really, really annoyed after Bournemouth when Stellini came out and said that this problem isn't tactical, it's individual errors. And you and me had a big discussion and said, you know what? And I spoke about it and you did, saying, but these players will be the exact same players that will play against Newcastle and make exactly the same errors again. So we get to Newcastle. We see Pape Matar, who I was very happy to see, really happy to see. And in 20 minutes, it's him that's taken off.
Because there's got to be a fall guy, and the kid's the fall guy. What do you think that did? What do you think that's done mentally to that kid? I'm glad they didn't play Devine and Mundle today, or even bring them on, because we don't need to destroy any more players. We destroyed Spence. Look how we treated Spence. Look how we've treated Dan Juma. Look how we've treated. I mean, today was calling out, in my opinion, Kulu. I'm not disrespecting Kulu. He's not had a good season. But today, Dan Juma should have started on one side. And Sonny, bring him on from the bench. We needed shithousery today. We needed players who were going to get in players' faces. And I would have played Richarlison and Kane through the middle. We needed that today, right? What we got was that, right? Fold. No bottle. Zero bottle, right? I've never seen a team capitulate so poorly. And I've got to be honest with you, Stellini has to take responsibility for that. And who's above Stellini? Daniel Levy. He is the man. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, he's somewhere in an office going, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which manager should I go, right? And that's probably what he's doing, because there's no director of football advising him. God only knows. Maybe when he's in the taxi on the way home tonight or in his car, someone's giving him some advice. Someone, I think Alistair Gold reported that Conte was... Conte. Sorry, that Levy was going into the dressing room. Did they actually think that he was going to go in and do a Todd Bowley? What was Levy going to do? Go in and say, "Oh, boys, I'm really upset the way you played tonight." You know, no. He went straight down the tunnel, into his car and out the stadium.
Yep.
He didn't want to face anybody. I didn't see him in the TV. I don't know whether he was hiding in the director's lounge.
Do you know what? In Newcastle, you probably think he was there. After 10 minutes, he was probably there. And then when I heard he'd gone storming down the tunnel, I thought, oh, she's storming down now all of a sudden when Champions League is definitely not going to happen. And, oh, you've cost me money now. And now we're going to have to do... Well, you bought these pillocks in. You bought these players in. And you know what? This is, I don't understand what is going on at that training ground, as you call the Four Seasons. I don't know how. I mean, what do you, Liverpool, United next. United next. United will come to us and they will be singing Glazers out. So I don't know. Have they got through to the FA Cup final? Are they in the FA Cup final?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, Brighton were playing really well.
Let's have a quick look.
You know, losing's part of football. You know, we all want to win, but losing's part of football. I was watching Brighton before, and they were playing with passion and fight. It's probably gone to penalties. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep, it is in penalties. No, Man U have won on penalties. So Man U have won a Carabao Cup, and the comments are coming in. They're in the FA Cup final.
And they're having a bad season. People are
Yep. And they still sing, "We want the Glazers out." And before people talk about, oh, the Glazers are ripping off Manchester United and using them as a cash cow, Ten Hag comes in 90 million on Anthony. Whatever they spent on Martinez. Ronaldo, the biggest cash cow of them all to make them. Oh, you've had a falling out of the manager? You've done an interview you shouldn't have? Bye-bye. Manager wants you gone. Bye-bye.
And we got rumours of Eric Dyer being given a new 2-year contract. Hugo Flapianski, right, getting another 2-year contract. Okay? Look, when Arsene Wenger left Arsenal, I remember what year it was. Was it 2018? I think it was. Well, whenever he left, there's only 2 players still at Arsenal. That's Rob Holding and Granit Xhaka. I think we've got 8 players still at our club. 8.
Johnny, did you see the tweet someone put out today? When we lost 5-1 to Newcastle to finish third
none of them are left.
Race, none of the Newcastle players are still there.
Yeah.
Today in that squad,
5.
Yeah. 5 players from that squad that lost 5-1.
Same players, getting rid of the same managers. Got rid of Poch, got rid of Nuno, got rid of Jose, got rid of Conte. Stellini's still there. I mean, honestly, I'd bring Ryan Mason in, Yaya, and maybe Jermaine. He's too inexperienced, but bring the players in. I don't care now. I really don't care now. I do not want to see Conte ball anymore. The inexperience to play a flat back four. We haven't played a back four for, I think the last time was Chelsea 18 months ago.
Probably,
or maybe
like
longer.
That. Probably something like that.
I can't remember what the result was. I reckon it must have been at least 18 months. I think it was Chelsea. I might be mistaken. But how naive as a manager. I don't want him to come, and play his football and his brand of football in his club and then come out and say, I mean, what was his press conference last week after the Bournemouth game? It's insulting.
It's like I said, this club, I mean, if you look at it this week, we've had the loss to Bournemouth, which is embarrassing, and the manner of it. We've had Paratici's ban being upheld. We've had that glorious Cambridge interview. Poch maybe going to Chelsea. And people want to think and now this. And they think Nagelsmann. They think Nagelsmann, who didn't want to go to Chelsea with all that talent and knowing the chairman will spend money and the absolute incredible youth academy Chelsea have.
Listen, come on, Brian, be fair. You can understand why he turned down Chelsea to come to Spurs. After all, we got far better players than Chelsea, and our owner is far more flexible. And if you tug hard on that wallet, you might feel a few cobwebs. I love that Cambridge interview actually, where he turned around and the interviewer said, or one of the people said, "What do you think of Tottenham?" And he's so in tune with the club, he didn't understand the connotation of it. He didn't understand shit, right? Yep. He didn't understand that at all. Completely over his head. That's how in tune he is with the club and the fans.
I mean, let's get on to this now, because then we'll bring some people on. Jonny, you and me have known each other for a little while now. We've done spaces, whatever, and then obviously I've seen you face to face at protests, and we speak a lot and everything. Now, we get mocked. We get mocked a lot, the protesters that stand out there and do what they do and do what we do when we did it at the training ground. Now, no matter what happens, we are out there, and I know a few of them that I protest with are in here, and big up to every single one of them that have done this. The first time I did it with them was the NFL protest, not this year, just gone, the year before, when I was over from Toronto. And we have taken dogs abuse. Absolutely. We've had fake numbers given out. We've had so many different things labelled at us. But one thing that is true is we have stood our ground all the time. We have been where we said we're going to be when we're going to be there, and we do not stop. And the more and more this goes on, whether you like the way we're doing it or not, that's up to personal opinion. And I get why some people might not. But surely now, for the greater good, it's come to the time where people got to stop talking on Twitter saying they're coming, they're coming. If you can't come, I get it. If you don't want to come, I get it. But to say you're sick and tired of this and you want change and you want to do this and do that, and then we're getting more and more people every time, but the numbers still aren't great. But just for the people that say we're not making progress, today we're in the Guardian. Last week we were in the Sun. I have been on the BBC and Sky, so have others. When we've been at the training ground, we have made national papers. We've made international papers. We've gone from when I came on, We Are Tottenham TV, and hardly anyone was speaking about Levy out on YouTube, on the YouTube platform. Now it's everywhere. Talk Sport, Sky Sports, everywhere. So for 20 people, apparently, it's not bad, is it, Jonny?
No, listen, look, the only thing that I would say is right now, all your efforts have been fantastic, Brian. What I would say now is it might be time to try and amalgamate all the groups together, still have your thing, but have a meeting with all the groups so you have a common aim together, because everyone wants the best for the club. Whilst it's fragmented now, this is maybe a problem for you and for some of the other groups that are out there. For all the good work you put in, but something has to change. Daniel needs to understand that this is more than just a game of football. It's a way of life to a lot of people. Yep. It's everything, and you can't quantify it in a pound note. To him, it's all about the pound note. He's not a football person. He needs to bring football people in to do their football business and leave them to do their job, okay? Because if you're going to micromanage every aspect of it, this is 22 years in, right? I feel like we're going backwards now. I really do feel like we're going backwards. The people that just sit here and ridicule are probably the same people that are attacking the SARS and this one and that one and the players, and hide behind their keyboards, giving everybody abuse. It's not going to help anything. Arsenal fans, they were in turmoil 2 years ago, and they marched on Kroenke's office.
Jonny, keep going. I just need to go bathroom. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Just keep going.
Kroenke Jr. came out and he promised the fans that he would do something about it. He said, things aren't right. We understand where you're coming from. We understand your complaints. And he made money available. And slowly but surely, coupled with the type of players they're producing in their academy, they've targeted each position carefully, not a scattergun approach. I mean, how many more right wing backs are we going to sign? We've got Spence. I mean, I've lost count, really. I mean, the squad is so lopsided. But Arsenal got change. They demanded it and got it. Man United, have they got change? I'm not sure they got changed, but they got Eric Ten Hag. Listen, if Spurs had appointed Eric Ten Hag, a vast majority of the fan base would have been up in arms. He's rubbish. He's only managed in Holland. Holland's shit. Because I've got the same. I happen to be a big Arne Slot fan. And when I posted something on Twitter, it was like, he's rubbish. He got schooled by Mourinho last Thursday. What do you mean he got schooled? He lost in the 89th minute to a Dybala goal. Roma were going out to an 89th minute goal. The fan base needs to unite and look and focus on what is really the problem here. And Arsenal have, as I said, have united and got change. United fans are trying to exact change. They're trying to force the Qataris to be the voice, so to be the main takeover target. They're the ones that the fans really want. And Everton are trying, but their movement is far better than ours. We're just not doing anything. I mean, how many more defeats is it going to take before people start to get vocal? Singing Mauricio Pochettino, right? Instead of showing your disdain, how is shouting or singing Mauricio Pochettino going to get change? He doesn't want him. If Levy wanted Pochettino, he'd be here now. And why would he come back to this club? Look how he was treated in the end.
So, Johnny, I'm just going to bring something up, because one thing I'm going to say, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, so I am going to bring this up when it comes to uniting. Last year at the training ground, that was started by myself, Ryan Isaacs, and Graham, who was with Ryan at that time. We just said, my group that I stand proudly with were like, do we do the training ground? Do we wait? Do we wait? And it got to that time, which was the day we started was the day before the Leicester 3-2 with Bergwijn scoring that double.
Yeah.
And that's when we started. We said, enough's enough. We're doing this. And it got lots and lots of traction as the results were getting bad. And literally, it got to the point where we were, just before he announced Bentancur and Kulusevski, it was fever pitch everywhere. It was making newspaper headlines. It was the talk of Twitter. But one thing that happened, and this is why my group that I'm proudly part of, and when I say my group, I don't mean my group, I mean the group I stand with. We were, after a certain game, I can't remember what it was, but a group reached out to us and going, that's it, guys, we're going to join you. We're going to be on board with you. We got this group. We done this. And I can't remember what the name of the group was, but they never showed their faces on Twitter. It was like avatars and pictures of like the Tottenham or whatever. We've got 500 Leave You Out T-shirts printed. We're going to be there to support you. We're bringing X amount of 100 down with you. And then a few days before the big crescendo of the deadline day, they said, we're having to pull out because one of us got a death threat and we're not coming. Even though their picture wasn't a picture of them, their name wasn't their name. It was like ENIC out or words to that effect. It was like, how are they going to know what you look like or who you are? They fully know who I am. They fully knew who Ryan and Graham was and other people that were there and taking pictures. We had no death threats. And we were there every single day. And they gave it the big hullabaloo that there was absolutely loads of them. So when it comes to uniting, this is the thing. The group, once again, that I say I stand proudly with and have become family to me, and I love and respect every single one of them. When we say we're going to do something, we do it. When we say we're going to be there, we're there. I don't go around wearing masks. I don't go around saying, oh, look over here, I'll be there, and then I'm not. So we do everything we say we're going to do. But because we do that, we get labelled all those words that are just ridiculous. Today I've been called an Arsenal troll. I'm an Arsenal troll who goes to all Spurs protests and tries to go to spends my life talking about Spurs, but apparently I'm an Arsenal troll. And it's just ridiculous. We're there. We're there. Anyone wants to join us? We're there. Listen, I'll let you know. We are going to go. We are going for Manchester United. We were thinking of not doing Manchester United because it was a Thursday, and obviously it's not like a Saturday or Sunday game where people.
There's a march against Palace, isn't there? There's a march.
There's a march from Change for Spurs at Palace. We are going to be standing outside where we stand. We weren't going to do Manchester United. Like I said, it's an evening game, people coming in from work, but there's
Just
no
to
way.
say, Brian, just to say that, none of these protests are anything other than peaceful protests asking for change. It's not violence. It's not anything. It's just groups of people who love the club, who want to see it run better. We all know about the stadium. It's great, a fabulous stadium. But we love Spurs because we love the football. I don't really care about Beyonce tickets and, go-karting and, abseiling off the top of it's lovely, right? If it helps and the income derived from that helps pay off the stadium debt and gives us more money to spend, on player recruitment, great. But the running of the football side of the club is a complete joke. We haven't had a manager that's finished the complete season since 2018, is it? 2019?
Yep, since 2018, we haven't had a full-time manager.
Yeah, we haven't had a manager that finished the season. All right, finished the whole season.
Oh, no, 2019. You're
2019.
right, 2019.
Okay. This is the point. This is what we're concentrating on. Some people just go on about the money and, we should be spending hundreds of millions. Well, that doesn't work because there's no money in football now in Europe. Europe is bankrupt, right? And when you're spending £80 million, buying a footballer, £60 million, it's very difficult if he fails to ever get your money back. So I'm not saying that we should be doing that. But what we should be doing, in my opinion, is scouting properly, recruiting properly. Why is it that we lose so many young players and we have to beg players to come? Because the culture in the club is rotten. There's something rotten within the club itself. I saw Jamie Carragher did a tweet today. It seemed like a tweet from an angry Spurs fan, his tweet.
What did he say?
He said something like, this is a joke. Conte's mate's in charge of the club. The whole rant, it was like a rant about what a disgrace the whole Spurs setup is. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And, he cannot fix it. He cannot fix it.
And this is the thing. I'm just hoping that Thursday, just so people know, that will be coming out on my social media and everyone else's social media for the Manchester United game. So once you see me tweet it or any of the crew tweet it, please get everything. And I'm talking worldwide fan base as well. I wish the worldwide fan base lived here because I know so many people around the world that if they were here, we'd be packed over that road. Absolutely packed. We got told when we were at the training ground, why don't you do it outside the club shop on a match day? Because then you got 60,000. So we do it. So we're going against United. We're going against Brentford. And this has got to stop. You do realise that if Manchester United, when Manchester United beat us, they will be 9 points ahead of us with 2 games in hand. We've still got to go to Villa.
We've fallen off of the cliff. We've literally fallen off of the cliff. I mean, I'm not being funny. I wasn't particularly a Conte fan. Why would you get rid of Conte? I know he had his rant. Let's be honest, what he said was true.
The best thing any manager has done under Levy.
A lot of what he said was true. I don't personally believe that he should have said it out loud. That's my personal opinion. It's for something you should be saying behind the scenes to the players, to the management. But he should have been kept on till the end of the season, right? Made to see out the rest of his contract, and what will be, right? What you've done, you've given him an out. And because you didn't want to pay off the rest of the bloody staff, you've kept on Stellini on.
Yep.
And us fans have had to endure the most horrendous game. I mean, I was at Southampton, down to Southampton to watch that game, 3-1 up, and I'm looking around, and it was awful to watch, waiting for us to implode. And then you got Bournemouth. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of having to watch this over and over again. It's disgraceful football. Yes, the players, the senior players, have a lot to answer for. They really do. I mean, I don't know. I'm hearing reports that Dyer and Lloris clashed in the changing room. You hear lots of rumours after at half time. I don't know whether it was anything like the Amazon documentary where you saw Lloris and Sonny shouting at each other.
Yeah.
Lloris didn't come out for the second half. He had an injury. I mean, when did he get that injury? After the second, the third, the fourth, or the fifth?
Yep.
But the players aren't playing for us. The players are divided, obviously. I didn't see anyone. Did anyone, I don't know if anyone's watching this now, please tell us, did you see anyone during that debacle remonstrate with their teammates or get angry?
Well, do you know what, Johnny? You mentioned something, and I actually forgot to go back to this. When you said when it was 1, 2, 3, where was the huddle? Did you see Zinchenko on Friday when they went 2-0 down to Southampton? He's been there less than a year. 2-0 down in 14 minutes. I mean, we even outdid that. It's like, Arsenal, hold my beer. Let's just show you how it's really done. And we'll concede 3 in 10 and 5 in 20.
Only we could outdo Arsenal in that. I mean, I was laughing when they were going 2-0 down. I was dancing around the living room because that's how bad, that's what our season's become. I have to get my enjoyment out of watching Arsenal implode rather than watching our team explode on the football pitch in a positive manner.
Yep.
No, we just implode every single game. No heart, no fire, no passion.
Well, you know what, Johnny? I think it's time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in the description and we'll start bringing on people one by one to kind of have a chat with us and everyone in the chat. And it'll be their time to have their say. So right now, people, if you want to come on, and I've got a feeling a few people are going to want to jump on.
I don't know how many we've got in the room. I can't actually see.
No, we can have 10 up into the waiting room, but I am going to bring people on one by one because when you get too many people on, it just gets way too all over the place. So if you want to come on, please do feel free to come on. The link is, that didn't take long. And we got a Geordie fan coming on. We got brilliant. I'm actually happy.
Away the lads.
I'm actually happy. Do you know what? Big up, Steve. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing good. I just wanted to just chat because obviously I've had horrible shit ownership, and that gives me the innate ability to be able to spot it at other clubs. You look at Sampdoria in Italy, tragic. They're getting relegated to Serie B, probably Serie D because of the financial shambles. There's one example. You got you guys. A few years ago was Leyton Orient. You've got almost any French club has pretty shambolic ownership, and you guys are front and center. You just have a pretty stadium. That's the thing that your fans just have not realized yet.
How long did it take you to get Ashley out, Steve?
I think personally, and I've only been a fan since 17, 18, but for me, I think the turning point was either when Ashley changed it from St. James's Park to Sports Direct Arena or the Jonas Gutierrez situation where a man suffering from testicular cancer was then sacked. That was probably the other thing.
That was the low point.
Or it could have been, and this is a new one. This is one that nobody seems to know, but it's in the Newcastle Chronicle. Mike Ashley did not want us to play Europa League football because he couldn't advertise Sports Direct.
So do you know what, Steve? I have to say, do you know what makes me laugh? You guys protest, or one of the reasons was because you named, or he tried to name the stadium the Sport Direct Arena. We've been waiting 4 years to get naming rights and have been told nonsense after nonsense. I mean, look at Joe what, and I said this, Steve, when your guys got taken over. Everyone thought that you're going to go shopping in the Harrods immediately and start splashing the cash, and Eddie Howe will be gone, and you'll get like a Mourinho or an elite manager, and you'll start dining. Everything your owners have done has been wonderful, and do you know what? Take the politics out of this.
Oh,
What a job! What a job they are doing.
I got to say, Steve, just backing what Brian was saying, I remember when Eddie Howe got the job, so many people were saying, why did he get the job? He won't last 5 minutes. What they'll do is you just start with Eddie Howe, and then they'll bring in the big name and they'll spend the big money. No, right?
but the problem,
he came with a plan. He came with a plan. And
a clear recruitment policy.
Our fan base think that we deserve to have the big name, the Conte. This I don't want that anymore. I want someone who's going to come like Eddie Howe, who can gel a team of average players. I mean, let's be honest. You know, there are some very good players now at Newcastle, but he gelled a team of so-so players in that defense.
Of relegation fodder.
Correct.
A year and a half ago. We drew with Norwich, and I was like, that's it.
Burns,
done.
Botman. He's brought in players. Yeah, he's brought in players. They're not international star names.
Botman will be, but yeah.
He will be, yeah. I mean, I would
Isak as well. Guimaraes, yeah.
Guimaraes, he's brought in top players now, all right? But they've targeted the right players for the club, and he's done an incredible job. Job. But the club have backed him.
Yep.
They haven't thought, right, well, we need a big name.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? We were very conservative in this past January window. And now look at the fruit that's going to bear when I think, and I've been calling this for about 5 months, we're getting Champions League football.
Without a doubt.
I don't even know. The transfer, it could literally be a dream transfer window. But the greatest thing is, if Eddie Howe doesn't want it, the ownership will be like, fair enough, let's bring in this guy instead if you want him. Fair play.
He doesn't want the big names. He doesn't want disruptors.
Yes.
You don't want egos. You want team players. You can have, like Chelsea, have a squad of great individuals who, in my opinion, will very unlikely ever become a team. What Newcastle are a team. They play as a team. They play as one. You can see the camaraderie. You know, Joel Linton, just the way he's adapted certain players. Even Willock, right? He's looking a different player to the player that was at Arsenal. And that's what a top manager does. But you give your manager time. You give your manager time and the tools.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing is that Eddie Howe is very meticulous he looks into the personality of the player he brings in. How is he going to fit into the group? What are the attributes? What does he add to this team? It's not just football manager nonsense. It's like, no, we brought in Alexander Isak for a purpose. Look at what oh my God.
We just signed right wing backs. You don't.
But that's not even that.
Yeah,
what you're forgetting as well.
Yeah.
Is last summer or last January, I can't remember who it was. Newcastle went for Maddison. Bid turned down. They went back again for Maddison. Bid turned down. Yeah. And they said, do you know what? We've got money. We ain't playing these games. Off we pop. And just moved on. But do you know what, Steve? We got a lot of people in the back, so I want to talk to you about the game. I mean, have you ever seen? I mean, you've got to see it on. I mean, we're here pulling our hair out. What hair we've got left? Have you ever seen 20 minutes of football like that?
No, and I watch football from around the globe and have done since 2014. I've seen amateur teams in France, Germany, Spain play your big hitters, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern, Barca. They've never conceded 5 in the opening 20. Brazil, Germany was not 5 in 20. That I'll probably never see that again in my life.
We
That
will.
was unforgettable. I was on Tottenham away on the live stream with poor Stelios, and every time, oh, they scored, and I'm like, "There's no way we did again. You're joking. You're messing with me." And then he did, and then unbelievable.
Steve, where are you calling from?
New Hampshire, USA.
Okay, you're on the side of the.
Born in
pond that I
Chicago
know
though,
home.
but yeah.
So mate. So our final question. You reckon? Who do you reckon? What kind of elite or players do you reckon are coming in once you got Champions League? Is there any rumours you've heard?
Well, Moussa Diaby was one of them that was linked in the summer from Bayern Leverkusen, young Frenchman formerly of Paris Saint-Germain Academy. I've heard some links with Kvaratskhelia at Napoli and also Victor Osimhen. Whether or not that's true, maybe. But it just shows
only
you
100 mil, 100 mil each.
They'll do it.
We probably could. We probably could because we didn't spend that much in January.
Correct.
And think about all the outgoings we will have as well. It might only generate a few million, but it helps just balance the books out a little bit. Look, everything at my club is going the right direction for one reason and one reason only, because we have new ownership. And then everything changes after that. Until your fans wake up out of this coma, this dreadful coma that I said on that super chat, you're going down the Everton route. There you go. Do you want to be like Everton? Do your fans want to be like Everton nowadays? Because Everton were a big hitter once. I'm not that old to remember, but I've done my research on Everton. 80s and 90s, they were winning.
Yep,
they were. Look at them now.
We're going to be passed next season, Steve, by yourself. No doubt by Chelsea.
Villa.
A resurgent Liverpool, right? No doubt an Aston Villa will spend team with a good manager.
They have the third richest owners in the league, by the way. That owner's got proper money. And Unai Emery as well.
Where are we going to be? Where are we going to be? This is going to be the biggest summer probably in the last decade for this club.
Biggest summer. Every summer is the biggest
This one's
summer.
going to mean the difference between challenging and obscurity.
It is. Steve, listen, before we let you go, because there's so many people, big up your channel, brother.
Yeah, so I'm a member on Newcastle Fans TV and have done for the past 2 years. If people want to try to throw the American bandwagon thing, no. I watched Steve Bruce ball. It was terrible. Newcastle Fans TV, you'll find me there. And also Strasbourg Steve, my just little personal channel that I watch just all types of football on. I'm watching Lyon Marseille. I'm a huge French football fan. That is my favorite league personally. But Strasbourg Steve's my channel, and FTV on YouTube is where you're going to find me talking to
Give us a follow on Twitter, and we'll keep.
I followed you.
Okay, guys.
But yeah, huge admirer of you guys. Keep up the good fight against horrible ownership, because I don't like it unless it's Sunderland. No bad ownership in football.
Cheers, and I can see Ben Kaufman, one of our very own Tottenham on Tour members, is just put out your details for Newcastle Fans TV.
Thank you.
Steve, we'll speak soon, buddy. We'll get you back on. We'll do some stuff together.
Sure, man. Yeah, pleasure. Good,
all right, buddy. I'll speak to you soon.
Peace out. See you, man.
See ya. See you later. All right. So now we're going to bring on Minerals. He's about to cut Minerals. Put your camera on if you're ready. We'll wait and see if he does. Actually, fuck it. We'll just bring him on. Minerals, there he is. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Let's have it up the Minerals FC. And, mate, like Tottenham had a massacre in Tune, mate. You know what I mean? In Newcastle. That was a massacre, mate. You know what I mean? Worse than the Broadwater Farm massacre, than the NPK, you know, all of that, mate. And, you know, it was over after 20 minutes. You know what I mean? How do you lose a game in 20 minutes, mate? Only Spurs can do that.
Yeah.
Can't they?
It's. I mean, I don't even know where we go from here. I mean, what did you see out there? I mean, obviously, there's nothing positive to take away from it. The fact that it was only 6.
I tell you what, Mineral saw. He saw more than the frigging defence saw, because they were asleep with their eyes closed every time a Newcastle player ran past them.
Exactly, mate. Like Jonny, mate. Like, you've got the Minerals, mate. You know how to land it, mate. You know that Inik had the problem, and there's those inic outlets are what I call in my vocabulary brown envelopes and wronging. You know that I say that all the time, Brian, don't you?
Yep, I do indeed. I do indeed. You were saying it to me on Friday.
Yeah, exactly, Brian. And Harry Kane, that geezer, he's the only one that keeps carrying your club, mate. You know what I mean? At this point, we'll have back problems.
What must he? Literally, I don't know if they're flying home in a posh coach, walking, Ubering, hopping in their car, whatever they're doing. What the hell is he thinking right now?
I mean, he's thinking of going to Manchester, isn't he? Or something.
Yeah.
Got to be thinking of going anywhere and anywhere other than where he is.
Yeah, mate. He's probably thinking of going elsewhere apart from Spurs, mate. Jonny, my geezer. Like Kane, for me, that geezer is probably your greatest ever Premier League striker, or even of your history.
Yeah,
judging on the stats.
Yeah,
and this is how the way he's going out. He was never built a good team with, and since you've gone very defensive, Spurs don't create 50 billion chances like you used to on the pitch. Even under Conte's best, you weren't like creating like with Man City and stuff like that. Harry Kane, he doesn't. He kind of outperforms his expected goals for use, doesn't he?
yeah. I mean, today he got
season.
one chance, I think, or two chances and scored one.
Yep.
Exactly, mate.
Harry Kane does.
But you know what? Minerals. I was just going to say, not only is he a top striker, but he's our top creative midfielder. And every time there's a corner or a chance, I think he cleared 2 off the line today.
Yeah, he did.
Cleared about 3 headers. He's our best defender.
Exactly, he's even your best defender, mate. Like he should be in the box receiving crosses, doesn't he?
Yeah, should be.
And the pitch, he wasn't dropping deep a lot because you were creating more chances, right?
Yeah.
We've got fullbacks that can't defend. We've got Romero. Joe, what Romero today? Joe, I don't think we've spoken about him enough. Romero was absolutely appalling today.
Mate, that geezer was appalling, man. He's too rash, mate.
Porro can't defend. He's never been a defender, right? He's really a right winger. We spent 40 million. God.
Oh my God. He's a Fugazi winger, isn't he? he's like there's this chap from called Classref. Like he invented this thing called false 8. He's a false right wing back, isn't he, Poro?
He's a false right. I don't even know if he's an inverted right wing back. I don't know what he is. I mean,
you know what I mean? It's mad. Daniel Levy is the biggest problem at your football club. Brian and Jonny Hughes are the fans that got the minerals. You land it everywhere they go, and proper Spurs supporters support you. You know what I mean? Like Levy, he wants the yes mans in there. You know, he doesn't know what he's doing. The geezer sacked Conte. He was in top 4. Even if, regardless of that draw, you guys were still in top 4. Regardless, because Man United
proper manager, minerals.
Proper. Yeah, he should have appointed that stupid draw. You were still in 4th. If you had won, you'd have been like 3rd. If Conte didn't do that stupid interview, he'd still be a manager. But I guess his ego is that big. But like, see, I think Jose was different because you guys were nowhere near top 4, and he wanted the trophy.
Do you know
what's your team, Minerals? Sorry, man, I didn't see your team. What's your team?
I'm a Gooner, mate, but I land it, man.
So no, do you know what? He I will say, Minerals maybe an Arsenal fan, and we're going to get some. We've got a lot of Spurs fans coming on next. What I praise Minerals for is he's not one of those that come on and give it the big one and talk. This is a guy that will come on and talk football.
Man, listen, last season, I got stick from Spurs fans when I kept saying that Arsenal are a better team than Spurs. And they're going, what are you talking about? I'm saying I can see what Arteta's trying to do. He's playing the game. He's not.
I mean, that's true, but
he doesn't have all the jigsaw pieces. But when he gets them pieces,
It's gonna be good, but like I respect him, but like my frustration sometimes with that is that took us long and 4 years, and you nearly spent like 400 million, and this is the best chance we probably have to win the league. Like Man City game is arguably our biggest ever Premier League game, considering
look at
like the last few
but
years.
You're right, Minerals, but look when you were 2-0 down. When you were 2-0 down, Zinchenko and all, they all came round, getting that huddle, right? Let's talk it out. When we were 2-0 down, I was saying to Brian, Eric Dyer scratching his bollocks. You know?
Exactly.
I
He
mean,
hasn't got the minerals. Dyer. He is another player that's not good enough. That's not level for the Spurs. And there's some fans and some Levy apologists, which are called wrong ends and brand envelopes and wishy-washy lot, that were hyping them players up and flip-flopping between Levy and Enoch out. But they're the same wrong ends and brand envelopes that want jobs at the club. Don't you find that strange, Brian? What do you think of those lots that want jobs at the club because of brand envelopes?
It's mate. Listen, it is what it is. Thankfully, it's all coming to a head, and Thursday now is going to be toxic. But Minerals, listen, I've got a lot of Spurs fans I need to get on, brother. It's been a pleasure speaking with you again.
Yeah, thank you, Brian, man. Big up, Jonny, man. Up the Minerals. Let's have it right.
Man. Cheers, man.
Big up, brother. We'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, man.
Big up, Minerals. Right, okay. So I'm really, really happy the next guy's coming on, because you know what? I met this guy last January, because this guy, Daly, once he'd finished work, came and joined us at the protest last January when me, Ryan and Graham were freezing cold every single day. I haven't got to speak to him for a while, but now we're going to have some Spurs talk. Miles, my brother, how are we on this embarrassing evening?
Well, I've had some good news from my family, so I'm doing better now. But when it comes to Spurs, spicy. Very spicy now, lads.
Go on, let rip.
How on earth could we think about saying, yeah, let's give Eric Dyer a new contract? Yeah, let's give Eric Dyer, let's give Ben Davies a new contract. Let's extend Lloris's contract another year. How on earth can we keep the same players we've kept since Poch benched them in this team, which is already struggling due to the amount of injuries we've got? Yeah? How dare our higher-ups, our almighty gods such as Levy, say, yeah, these players are good enough for this club. Yeah, these players are good enough even for top 4. Eric Dyer had one good season, which was the end and also midpoint of last season. The entire rest of this time at this club has been god-awful. God-awful. Lloris, amazing goalkeeper. But he's super old for a goalkeeper now. And you can see in his palms, he hasn't got the strength anymore.
He needs to extend his hands. They're about to extend his contract.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking absolute fact. Yeah.
Well, did you watch? Where were you? Where you watched the game? Were you watching it at home?
I was watching at home. My dad was one, because when I get to watch a game that's away, it's family time with me and my dad. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. And my dad has never walked out of a match before the half time. He walked after 15 minutes. And my dad's been a Spurs fan since he was born. He's seen them since the 60s till now, win all sorts of things. Bringing me up as a Spurs fan, bringing my brother up as a Spurs fan, just to see him essentially go, give up on this club.
Do you know what? I've just seen a comment. I've just seen a comment from a very, very good friend of mine, actually family to me, which is Nick Barry, Sean Phil Grant. And I actually had someone tweet me this in all seriousness, and I was like, I'm not even going to respond to this. I know he's joking, Nick, but someone actually tweeted me and said, here you go, Brian, here's a positive. We drew the second half.
Oh, wow.
Someone actually tweeted me and private messaged me to say, Brian, don't worry, stop being negative. We drew the second half.
Don't worry, guys. Top 4's still on. Top 4's still on. We drew with Newcastle.
This is Miles. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, like I said, you were with me in January and with everyone else in January. Yep. You've been at me with other protests.
Yep. I'm going to be there on Thursday. I'll be there on Thursday.
Good. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even think in my wildest dreams when we started doing this last Sunday at January, last season in January. I don't even think if I could write a story of how bad it was going to get, even I could come up with this. I mean, what do we do? Where do we go?
A quick little question. Sorry.
Come on.
People who were saying that they wanted Conte out and they wanted better football, did they really think that Levy had someone already ready to bring in? Did they not expect it to be to Stellini or Ryan Mason that were going to take charge and give us the same trash?
I think, Miles, I don't think not even the bookmakers expected Stellini, because Stellini wasn't quoted at a single bookmakers to be taking over. You know, Ryan Mason would not have been playing this football. I'm not saying he would have won us games. I'm not saying he would have revolutionised the way we're playing. But I'm sorry, when your biggest weakness is your defence, play possession football, because if the other team can't get hold of the fucking ball, they can't score a goal. Right?
We can't
sitting on the back of you, sitting on the edge of your box, inviting the other team to come again and again and again. Bournemouth, they just got hammered today. They got hammered by the Hammers. And we're sat at home. I felt like I was watching a team. And the AC Milan game, for me, they were there for the taking. I know, I've heard all the stories. Yeah, well, they're in the semis. We're rubbish. That was the worst AC Milan team I've ever seen. We just sat there and waited and waited and waited. And in 10 minutes to go, we bring on Davinson Sanchez for Kulu to try and hold out for a 1-0 defeat. This is not for me. This is not the football I've signed up for.
I had a lot more entertainment. Now, my mum's a Hartlepool fan because she was born and raised in Hartlepool. Yeah, I had a lot more entertainment yesterday watching Hartlepool get mathematically relegated than watching today. I would much rather spend the money going up to Hartlepool to watch a home game, which means nothing because they're going down anyway. Now, than I would going to see us not get top four, not get anything.
Look at the passion. I know it's a different level, but look at the passion of those owners at Wrexham, right?
Oh,
you can say
my God,
Hollywood. I've heard it's all fake. It's not fake. That's genuine, right?
Yeah.
That's genuine love for what they're doing.
Hey, look at Abramovich when he did it.
There's no love. Levy's devoid. He seems devoid of emotion.
The fact that he said
that emotion, that passion, it's not there.
He had the audacity.
I've just seen in the comments someone say check Tottenham tiers, so I'm just going to do that. Let's see what bullshit the club have come out with. Tottenham tiers. Here we go.
Tottenham have announced they've made the players walk home from Newcastle.
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay, so 6 minutes ago, Emerson Zulu, agent and father of Emerson Royal.
I know who
There's a great possibility that Emerson Royal will leave THFC. We want this because we believe it's time to take the bigger leap and go to a team that fights for titles.
Agreed. Because at least Emerson stepped up when all else failed. He at least went, you know what, I can defend. Let me play a defensive role, and I'll keep that solid. Whenever he was actually in defensive positions, he was doing amazing. At least he did that. But we're talking about Emerson Royal at this club.
This is what we're at.
No, Emerson Royal was the fall guy, because Emerson Royal is a right back, right? And I stood by Emerson Royal when everyone was giving him a terrible hard time. Brian will tell you that. A lot of people in the space.
As did Nick in the chat.
Because I knew he's not a right wing back, right? Yeah, he's trying to adapt his game. And, you know, when he turns into an inverted right wing back, which is the middle ground between what he knows and what he's trying to learn, his whole game changed. But Zulu is Emerson's dad for sure, I know. And who wants to stay at the club?
I have to know, Johnny. Johnny, do you remember, just very quickly, before we let Miles answer that, do you remember when we did our space on Friday and KPV came on right at the end? Carl Patrick Vineyard. Do you remember what he said when we were going about the score?
Yeah.
Do you remember he came on and he said 6-1? He actually came on, KPV, God bless him, and said 6-1. Everyone's like, all right, steady on.
I was agreeing we were going to get hammered. I just didn't think it was going to be 6-1 and 5 in 20 minutes.
Oh, mate, it's joking. But Miles, what I mean, final thing for you, what do we do? How do we do this? Where do we go? What's next?
What's next for us is that everyone needs to flip and unite finally and go, the owners are the problem. For 22 years, the owners have been the problem. For 1 year, they won us a cup, a Carling Cup, which meant nothing in regards to actual glory. Yeah, it was a lucky win against Chelsea. Yeah, let's just be honest. That Chelsea match in the final was lucky. Yeah, in other games that we have got to finals and stuff, we have not played with any passion. No one's played for the badge. Yeah,
not since the Battle of the Bridge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
the Battle of the Bridge was the last time I saw fight, passion, and determination.
In my eyes, for the fan base now, for those who can come to Thursday, who can come to the training grounds whenever we protest there, whoever can come to the stadium to protest there, go, let your voice be heard. Because online, they don't look at the online things that much, but they look at when it's in person, when the cameras are on us and we are screaming at the top of our lungs, Levy, ENIC, out.
Well said, Miles. And like you said, mate, I don't know if it's Sky or BT were on Thursday, but the TV cameras are there. It is a televised game, so we have got to make this loud, and really bad. But Miles, I look forward to seeing you on Thursday, brother.
Absolutely.
I've got to say, just before Miles goes, I see Miles and myself are both dressed according to the mood. We're all in black. Morning, of our club.
I was wearing a shirt and I took that off after 20 minutes. I was like, no.
I thought, no, it's black today. It's black today.
Yeah. Funeral
Miles.
crisis.
Miles,
Anyway.
brother, I'll see you soon, my man.
See you, lads.
I'll see you soon. Right, we've got 3 more people in the queue at the moment. The link is in the description if anyone wants to join. And I'm looking forward to speaking to this guy. I've spoken to him when I've been on Tottenham away with him, making his debut on Tottenham on Toys. Ritesh, big up, Ritesh. How are you?
Hello, Ritesh.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Johnny. I'm not too bad, thank you very much. It's just a shame about the train wreck being Spurs, really. So
yeah. What's your take on this? What have you got to speak about?
I think it's very simple, really. Like, as a football club, we're in absolute turmoil for sure. Like, I mean, when the 5th goal went in inside 20 minutes, like, I just switched it off completely and watched the Indian Premier League cricket. At least that was more exciting than watching Spurs. And
hang on, Ritesh, can I just ask you? Was there more runs scored or more goals conceded?
I'd say the first one, more runs scored.
It would have been close today.
Yeah, I mean, the first game was very close. Let's just say that. Yeah, but at least it's more entertaining for sure. I mean, sticking with Spurs, like, the whole thing needs to reset, like, from top to bottom. And I'm sick and tired of this toxic positivity behavior from some of our fans. Like, some saying, at least we drew the second half 1-1. At least mathematically we're not out of the top 4 race. Like, please explain to me, what universe do they live in? And with the Daniel Levy interview that just released a few days before this match, like, it's just a typical PR stunt. It's lip service. And what baffles me the most is that some people will still defend this chairman to the hilt. And I watched your fan cam, Brian, on We Are Tottenham TV. I mean, you hit the nail on the head there, because I think it's about time that we put all the agendas to one side and start unite together as a fan base, like, going forward.
100%, Ratish. Yeah.
Because the season is spiraling out of control. Like, I said it after January, once the transfer window finished, that we're not going to get over the line in terms of top 4 because we keep neglecting certain positions, like centre back. Like, we haven't addressed the key positions. And people saying, oh, Conte went on a tirade after Southampton, he had to go. But at the end of the day, he's been proven right. Like, he called out the players. Like, that is. Well, the thing is, insanity is like doing the same things over and over, expecting different outcomes. Like, why are players like Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez allowed to be at this football club? Because it stems from the very top. Like, it's Levy-nomics, like, to use that term.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this, Richard. Like you said, we're apparently giving contracts to people with no manager. We're currently interested in people with no director of football, without knowing who the manager is going to be. We are in an absolute woeful state. I mean,
Every
left
division.
I left the North London derby at half time at White Hart Lane because I was just fuming and I had to get out. Then I didn't think I could get more fuming than that. Then Bournemouth, and I was raging. Or sorry, Wolves and Sheffield
What about
United.
Southampton? Sheffield
Wolves,
United.
Sheffield United,
Wolves.
Southampton, but Bournemouth, I was bad. And now I cannot remember ever in my whole time of doing this with Levy out and the 15, I cannot remember a time where I have been so irate, so furious, and I'm. When do people say, do you know what? I don't care about beef or anything that's going on anymore. I don't accept this for my football club. I want, but what do we do, Rothesh? What do we do, Bardo?
I think, as I said about the protest on Thursday, it'd be best for lots of people to come in. Like, I think with the recent protests, it's getting traction on social media. Like, people are finally waking up to the bigger picture. Because I think with the Man United game on Thursday, we're not confident one bit. Because I think the atmosphere is going to be absolutely toxic. But on Thursday night, it's on BT Sport, by the way. That's definitely
BT. Okay, cool.
Yeah, BT. So, it's certainly looking very bleak. I'm struggling to see where our next win's coming from. Man United Thursday, Liverpool next Sunday at Anfield. I know Liverpool have their inconsistencies, but our record at Anfield isn't stellar. Aston Villa away. Emery's playing really, really well. Palace, who've got that bounce under Roy Hodgson. Brentford. Honestly, this might sound crazy. I've said it in the past that maybe we have to take a step back in order to take a few steps forward. If it means we have to drop out the Champions League and start all over again.
Lose every game. What will it take, Rathesh, for these people who mock the people asking for change to actually accept there might be a point to the conversation, that they might actually have a point? Because I can't, like you, I can't see where our next win is coming from.
I can't see where our next draw is coming from.
Pardon?
I can't see where our next draw is coming from.
Yeah.
No, we don't deserve anything. And how much further into the ground has the club got to go before Levy comes out and says something?
Yeah,
I'm glad the club statement today.
No, I was going to say, Johnny, sorry to interject. Like, I completely agree, because I was going to say, like, maybe finishing 8th is probably the best thing to happen for Spurs. And this might sound a little bit cringeworthy, but the reason I say that is because, like I said a second ago, we have to start all over again because we don't have squad fully capable of tackling multiple fronts, like whether it's Premier League and Europe. So we're in the future, we could just go to be focused on one game a week every Saturday in the Premier League and just rebuild, because there's a lot of squad players that needs to be shipped out, because I think with the managerial thing, like the people upstairs have got no excuses. They have to get it right. But if they don't get it right, then the more they keep making mistakes, and what baffles me the most is people keep getting away with it more frequently. And a fan base, we've got to be ruthless in these situations.
You know what the problem is, Rathesh? You're only allowed 8 players out on loan. Only 2 will be coming back potentially, which is Spence and Udogie, which leaves 2 spaces to loan players out. If anyone thinks that we're going to be able to get money and sell Davinson Sanchez, Dyer, Davis, and a lot of the other deadwood that needs to leave the club, they're very, very much mistaken. It's going to be a major struggle. And we need to cancel contracts. We need to do what Arsenal did, get rid of players, cancel the contracts to enable us. I mean, we did it with Doherty, probably the one player we could have done with right now. He would have been playing for us right now.
Yeah.
I mean, how does a club not know what the rules are governing how many players you can go out on loan? They had to cancel his contract. They were getting a loan fee and his wages paid with a year left on his contract. So he would have come back having played for Atletico, and we would have sold him, not for a lot of money, but we would have got some money for the loan and his wages paid and a small fee. What do we get? Nothing, right? Nothing. The club is a farce, but it's going to be difficult for us to get rid of these players because they haven't enhanced their reputation anywhere in the football world to warrant a move to any club. really.
And speaking of which, there has to be a balance in terms of what you're planning going forward. Like right now, we don't have a long-term strategy in place. Like on the field, mainly like which players. I mean, we don't forget about signing big mega superstar players. Just bring in the players that the manager wants. Like in the long term, because we can't just cherry pick certain things or just fill in stopgaps, because I feel like we do, the thing is, the competition next season is going to be a lot stiffer. Like not just your Man Cities and Liverpools and Chelsea and Liverpool in particular will get their act together next year. I mean, Man United just got to the final of the FA Cup straight away. Ten Hag has been there, won a trophy. They have a plan in place. Newcastle, we know about their long-term plan. What is our plan? Because there's no transparency within this club. Like there is zero accountability. Like no one's willing to take responsibility for what is going on the field. Like poor results, poor recruitment, the style of football. Like it's
Well, all the culprits of all of the people that were responsible have been thrown under the bus, and the man who is responsible is hiding upstairs. The problem we got as well when we come to the summer is we're going to be at the player dining table. We are going to be in the 8th sitting, right? All the top players, right? They'll be snapped up by the clubs who are in a better position, whose agents can clearly see that the club has got direction. Would you encourage your player to come to a club like Spurs? No. So we have to be smart. We have to recruit clever. Yeah.
You just hit the nail on the head there, Johnny. I mean, right now we have to make sure the environment becomes more cohesive, like more brighter. Because the thing with Harry Kane, like if would you blame him for 1 second if he was to leave at the end of the season? Not really. No. Because he must be thinking, what the hell? Like, I'm carrying pretty much this team, and also, how are Spurs 5th in the table? Like I've said this on recent.
That's how bad the league is this season.
Exactly. Yeah, I said it on recent Tottenham Away podcast that we're in a false position because other teams have dropped off. Other, inconsistency as well. But obviously Harry Kane was scoring goals. But take his goals out of the equation. God to think where we are on the table.
16th.
How the hell are Chelsea worse than us? I mean, we are bad. I can't even watch us anymore. It's just shocking. And yet Chelsea are much worse than us. It's madness. I don't know how anyone could be worse than us.
I'm not going into the ground to watch it. I don't care if I have to have my back turned to the game and watch it on one of the, as Daniel Levy likes to tell us, the size of 4 double-decker bus TV screens, because that's really important to know when I look at TV screens. It's the size of 4 double-decker buses. I don't care if I have to have my back turned. I don't care. There needs to be so many things that need to be done in this game. So much Levy out, and if anyone is singing his magic, then I'm just going to go. Then I think we.
Is Stellini still there, Brian, because he doesn't want to pay him off?
There you go. Exactly. Do you think if you were in charge, would you have sacked Stellini?
Tell me another time, because someone out there probably would know better than me right now, because my brain is fried from today. But has there ever been a case where a manager's been sacked, yet all his staff remain, including the assistant manager? Normally what happens is they all leave, they're all paid off, and then you get a new caretaker manager who they normally bring in players, assistants, whatever, from within the club. But no, we have got Stellini in there doing the same stuff that was tried to do before, but at a much lower level. I mean, this is a guy that failed in the Italian 3rd division, got sacked. This is farcical. You're playing with our club. This is no good.
Well, if you were Daniel Levy, are you sacking Stellini before
he goes the same time? We got a guy who's done for 2 years for match fixing, running our club. Did he have a bet on 6-1 today? I don't know.
One sec. So right. If you were commander in chief, I'm not going to say if you were that man, because I don't want to.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
What would you be doing right here, right now?
So right here, right now, I would be ruthless and get rid of Stellini at halftime. Like Daniel Levy done to Martin Jol.
Martin Jol.
Martin, yeah, that's the thing. Like, the thing is, like, to use myself as a case study. Like, if I was a chairman of a sports team, whether it's football, cricket, etc., I think the first thing I do is to come up with a long-term vision. So what is there to achieve? Is it trophies? What style? Do it in the best possible style. And the second thing as well is bringing the right people with the right qualifications, like not just in the sports scenery, but in the workplace. Like, you recruit people who have the best background for a specific role, if that makes sense. So that's the first thing you have to do, is to have principles in place rather than just making it up as we go along.
That's it. Well, Rotez, listen, it's a pleasure having you on the channel, and hopefully we'll get
Thank
you
you.
on a lot more. Have a wonderful evening, mate, and we'll speak very, very soon.
All right, top man. Thank you, Brian.
No worries, my man. Speak to you soon.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so we got three more guests. We've got this guest coming on right now. Then we got Craig. Then we got my brother from Toronto, Bobby. Let's bring on this man who has retweeted everything I do. Is one of the biggest Levy out people you'll find from a different country. It's my brother from Spurssuasion. It's Eugene. Eugene, how are you, brother? And actually, Eugene, you've spoken to Jonny on Spaces a few times.
We spoke a few times. Yeah, big up. Yeah,
so Eugene, go.
I'm ashamed. So ashamed. Right. I've been very zen about Levy for a long time. Brian knows that. Right, I've been saying why moan, why whine if we don't take action, right? But today has brought me to a new level of being ashamed, right? I'm not even wearing the Spurs jersey, the replica Spurs jerseys that I bought, right? I'm changing back to my t-shirts, right? I'm very ashamed. What am I going to say, right? If the fans are not going to take action, right? I'm in Malaysia, right? I'm trying to find ways, right, to find Malaysian Spurs fans to take action. And to tell the truth, there are a lot of Malaysian Spurs fans at the moment, right, who are really, really upset about this scenario, right? Brian, remember this behind me?
Yep.
This was 1 over year ago.
Yep.
1 over year ago. And we're back here again. Why? I don't know. Is it the owners? Right? Is it the managers? Huh? Why is it being allowed? Clubs like Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, right? When their fans protest, they go out in hundreds, in the thousands, right? And when our club protests, right, we got Brian Daigle, right? January. I pity my brother. January. Him, Graham, Ryan Isaacs, right?
Yep. And others, but we're the
and
three.
A few others, right? Yeah, and a few others in the cold, protesting throughout for 14 days or 15 days in the Jan transfer window, right? And that was even after when Conte came in, right? We were going batshit crazy during the Nuno time, remember, Brian? Right?
Yep.
When Conte came in, we said, this is the last straw, right? We've got Levy's back against the wall, right? Conte is coming. Conte is supposed to prove something, but somehow or another, it gets twisted again, right? It gets twisted to the Conte out. The football is shit. This, that. Then the whole thing crumbles again, right? Then it brings another divide, right? Somehow or another, I give Levy that credit. He knows how to divide the fan base, right? He's divided the Levy in and the Levy outs. He's divided the Levy out.
They're fighting each other, Eugene. They're fighting each other. That's what's
the sad part, right? That's why when the narrative of Conte out came out, I went on to a lot of shows. We should not do that. We should be actually backing the manager. If you want to say Conte out, you're dissatisfied with the football, say Conte walk, right? But it is what it is. Conte has left. What do we have now? B-Tech Conte.
Not even B-Tech.
Okay, C-Tech Conte. All right, okay.
C-Tech Conte. But you're right. Eugene, what you're saying is right. It's the master deflection. Because what's happened is that every moment, the fans were arguing, Conte in, Conte out. This one in, this one out. It's this fault, it's that fault. Paratici in, Paratici out. Paratici good, Paratici's not
Jonny,
good.
don't even get me on Paratici. You ask Brian Daigle. When they appointed Paratici, I told Brian, it takes a con man to get another con man in. Look what happens now. Right?
Listen, and what I noticed today, Eugene, on the spaces, I've been saying it for weeks now. The last few weeks since the Conte outburst, the fans have turned on each other. And whilst that's happening, that's taken away all the spotlight for the person that should be getting all the spotlight. And that's ENIC and Daniel Levy and the management and how he's managed the football side of this club. I don't want to hear about the business side. We all know about the stadium. We all know about the go-karts and the NFL and all the rest of it. That's not why I subscribed to being a Spurs fan, God knows how many years ago. It was because of my love for football, not for my love of Beyonce. Okay?
Yeah,
it
Beyonce,
is of
yeah.
no interest to me. I want to see my team go on that pitch. I don't care if we get defeated, if we get beaten, because that's part and parcel of football. But I see we lose with heart and passion. I can accept it. What I saw today was unacceptable.
Yeah. Now, Johnny, lose with dignity.
Correct.
We don't have even dignity left. That's why I'm ashamed. You know what I'm saying?
So Eugene, you look at this. Let's very, very quickly. Let's go. You look at it. Hugo Lloris, who I've been saying for weeks, if not months, shouldn't be in the Spurs shirt at the moment. Should be Fraser Foster. Another typical performance. Eric Dyer, another typical performance. Romero should hang his head in shame. Two wing backs that can't defend, that just simply can't do the job. One because they are so attacking, and one because he's too
I
old
don't
to
know
do
if
it.
Perisic has ever played left back in his
Mate,
life.
do you know what? Well, usually, I didn't even know Sanchez had come on for a while. I went out to have a vape because I had
He
my
was
two
our best
nephews.
defender at the end.
Mate, I went out for a vape and I didn't realise that it'd come on because I was about to go batshit crazy, but I couldn't in front of my nephews. Then I went out at half time for the second. I didn't even realise that Hugo was off until I saw what I was like. Well, fuck me, is Hugo grown during half time? And then I realised, I mean, I can't even remember a goalkeeper being subbed at half time. Yes, there's talk of the injury, but it's not an injury. Apparently, he's had a huge
up with
party,
Dyer.
and I'm hearing Dyer
Where was
lambing
the
him.
manager? Where was the manager who last week was out and out players for having no heart, no passion? Where was he to face the music and playing a back four with Porro, who can't play as a right back, and Perisic, who's never played left back in his life, and expects to get a result, and then yanking off a 20-year-old kid?
No, that's what I'm saying. When that team list came out, I had to read it through 3 times. I was trying to figure what's the formation. Then it clicked. Shit, we're playing a back four with Dyer in the 2. And we know what's going to happen. Then I was thinking, Perisic is on our left. He's a left fullback. Perisic can't defend. Right?
No.
Porro
can't defend either.
Can't defend either. So, to tell the truth, first 60 seconds, bam, within 20 minutes, 4 goals went in. And I was going, oh my God, nah. This is unacceptable, right? Really unacceptable. Then never mind. After that, we hear stories that Levy went into the dressing room. I think Levy, did he?
He didn't go in,
He stormed out.
He went straight out and got in his limo and went home.
Okay. There were rumors saying Levy went into the dressing room. Maybe okay.
No, what happened was he went down, Eugene, into the tunnel, and there's an exit through the tunnel which goes out into the car park.
Away from the Spurs fans to get into his car and get away lively. Do you know what? I hope there's such bad traffic that loads of Spurs fans catch up to his car.
There should be a club statement tonight for the humiliation. And for those fans that went there, he should have faced the music, Stellini.
No,
right?
we don't do that. We don't do that. There won't be club statement. Stellini won't get sacked, right? We'll just continue to be the same. And to tell the truth, sorry to say, being on the Levy outside for nearly 2 years now, Brian, right? Being really vocal about it, being online saying about it, we are still the minority. That's the sad part, right? But, of course, there are people coming over a bit and a bit and a bit. So let's hope this Thursday night, and it's night, right, that you guys are going to do another protest. I wish I could be there, but I'm not, right? I'm in Malaysia, right? And it's actually going to be 4 a.m. here now.
Eugene,
right?
here it is again. I'm going to be sharing it with you so you can share
Yeah.
it everywhere. We
Yep,
didn't
yep.
know if we
Let's see it
were going
again.
to do it Thursday, but we most certainly are going Thursday. We
Yep,
most
yep.
certainly are going Thursday.
You have
Normal
Big up
play.
to you, Eugene. Still being here at 4 a.m. Man. My sister lives in Singapore.
Oh,
And, yeah. So when I was out there in January. So I didn't December, January. So I missed a few games.
yeah.
You
And
did-
imagine,
is it 4 a.m. where you are right now?
It's
yeah,
8
it's going to
hours
be 4
ahead.
I'm 7
or 8
hours ahead. 7 hours ahead, right? But tomorrow's my off day. That's why I'm still hanging around with all the streams and all that, right? But the things I'm saying, like for me, when I'm in Asia, when there's a mid-week match, I have to wake up, right? Sleep a bit for 1-2 hours, wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, watch the match for 2 hours. If the match is good, it's good. If the match is shit, right? The next whole day I have to go back to sleep again, sleep another 3-4 hours just to go to work, right? But
Yep.
I think this Thursday is going to be really fun, right? Because if we get humped again by Manchester United, I really want to see the stadium turn. And I've been saying this, right? And I've said this on Bob Spur TV. I've said this on Tottenham away. Burn it all down.
Mate,
Just
listen,
burn
do
it all down.
you know what it is as well? Eugene, I'm going to give you one more question, then we're going to get through because we've got a few more people to get through. But this Manchester United game, do you remember? I was back over here from Canada and I was just about to go back home, and I was there for El Staquico.
Yeah.
And hearing Levy out sung for the first time in the levels that it was the happiest moment in a
Yeah, I
Spurs
know.
stadium I've had in such a long time. All the hard work, to hear it. But you know what? I think come Man U, it's going to be 10 times worse. And if they score an early goal,
Yeah.
this is going to be the game of games. And for all the wrong reasons for Levy, because it will be televised, it will be loud as, and he can try and get Sky or BT as what I said.
BT, yeah.
Yeah, you can try and drown out the sound. You
Mhm.
ain't having it. You can try and turn the music as high as you want at half time and full time. We are going to drown you out. We are going to drown you out. We are going to show you up. We are going to call you out. And if God is my witness, we will do everything in our power to make sure this happens on Thursday, because enough is enough in it, Eugene.
Yeah. No, to tell the truth, right? No matter how I see it now, right? Our squad is incapable of pulling a performance together. They don't have the heart. They don't have the desire. They don't even have the capability at the moment.
Do you know what, Eugene? Can I just interrupt you there? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I do feel that with Bissouma, Bentancur, and Richarlison on their game and fit, we have 3 players there, and even maybe Danjuma, right? We do have some players in this squad that could be the basis of a rebuild. The vast majority is not good enough, but I do feel that we do have some players that, with the right manager and the right fitness regime, I mean, I've got to say that our medical team this season has been a joke. I mean, I don't know if we've got more injuries than any other club in the Premier League. It certainly seems like it. I don't know if there's anyone in the squad who hasn't been injured this season. Sorry to interrupt you, Eugene.
Kane hasn't been injured. Surprisingly, Kane hasn't been injured
the
for
only
the past
one you
2 seasons.
Yeah.
The only one hasn't been injured for the past 2 seasons.
Don't tempt it, Eugene.
I'm going to curse it. Curse it all away so we can lose all the way.
If I was Harry Kane, I'd find an injury right now just so I didn't have to play in this shitty team.
Eugene, brother, before I let you go, Eugene, promote your channel.
Yeah, guys. Spurs Vision TV. I'll be doing a show tomorrow, 3 p.m. UK time. I'll be surrounded with a lot of fans from other clubs, but not Spurs. Yeah. Newcastle fans, I got 3 coming onto my show tomorrow. So they're going to be gloating and rubbing it in. So
Yep.
Let's see how that goes. Brian,
The link
Thanks
is
good to be
there
on
much
from
for
you,
the
coming
mate.
on,
channel.
Long time. Yeah, long time I haven't been on your channel, right?
Yeah,
Good to
very
be
long
back
time,
on,
brother.
right? We have to keep in touch, Brian, right?
Of course we will, brother. Of course we will.
Right,
Of course
okay.
we will.
Take care.
I want to make sure this like our channel is very like I've been a lot more active with pre-records, but now it's time. I was going to stay away from lives for a bit for many reasons, but no more. The more I can get out lives and giving fans voices and saying what we need to say, the better. And we'll be in touch, Eugene.
All right,
Thanks
take
a lot,
care.
Eugene.
Nice meeting you,
See you
Johnny.
later, brother.
I was
See you
just going
later,
to
bro.
say, Brian, I can't seem to see any of the messages that are coming up when they come up from people.
I can see them all. I have the power. You should be able to see them.
Can't see them. I can't see them.
No,
Can I
are you on a
give big-
laptop or phone? Yeah, if you're on a laptop,
What? Yeah.
you
What
should be.
device are you on?
I'm on an iPad. Can I just give a big up for Danny Rose for coming dressed as a train driver today?
Mate,
You know, he's looking
Mate.
for a job. He did say today he can't believe 2 years down the line he still can't get a job as a footballer, having watched that shit today. But he's obviously, after coming from here, he's going to go and try and get a job as
Mate,
a train driver if he can't get a job as a footballer. So
he
big
should
up,
actually.
Danny
He
Rose.
looks like someone that could work on Madonna's next concert. He should
Yeah,
strike a pose.
he does look like, I don't know if he's
No.
maybe he's going to a pantomime afterwards or a fancy.
No, guys, hold on, no. He's the messenger boy for Darth Vader.
Eugene, I'll see you later on, brother.
All right. Take
See you
care.
later.
All right,
Thanks
see
a
you
lot,
later.
Eugene.
Okay, so we got a debut boy coming on, then we got two regulars coming on. I'm looking forward to see what this guy says. We speak a lot on Facebook Messenger. Never spoke to him face to face. Here we go. Big up, Craig. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, Brian. I'm fine, mate. How are you?
Yeah, just
All right,
as
Craig.
they say, just
Hi,
another
John.
day in paradise. That is the shit show that is Tottenham Hotspur. So this is your time, Craig. What you got to say?
Well, I just totally agree with you, Brian. You know, you're saying about doing more of these lives. It's the best way the message is going to get out, because we've got to get the message out there that this man is ruining. Again, I won't say his name because I can't. The one we shall not mention. In that Harry Potter said it or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, what did you make of today, Craig? I mean, in your wildest dream, I mean, we all thought we were going to get a defeat, but could you even?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. I had 3-1 down. Yeah.
Same.
And I was sitting with my mate, and he said, "Oh, I reckon it's going to be 7-1 as a joke." Yeah. And he goes, "Oh, I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to bet 7-1." And I was sitting there when that fourth goal went in, and then the fifth goal went in, and we were in hysterics. He was jumping around for joy, thinking he was going to win about 250 quid. You know what I mean? Man, the club's rotten. The club's rotten. I've never seen such a, what do you call it, separated team in my whole life. I've even started watching Wrexham because this club's doing my head in so much.
A
You know
lot
what
of
I
people
mean?
have. A lot of people have, and like we said, you could see, and like Johnny mentioned earlier, you could see when they won that league to enter the Football League, and it's 15 years without being in professional league football.
Yeah.
There were tears of emotion, and
What
like
it meant
the class of '92 did with Salford,
yeah.
they're going to invest. Yes, it's not the caliber of what we need and blah 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 before we go any further.
No.
But you can see they're like, right, I love this club. What could I do? This prick
Yeah.
is going to be a supporter of the club.
He don't even know what game he went to first, Brian.
I know he's still watching Aston Villa, and what was the other one?
Leeds, wasn't it?
Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds. I mean, I don't even.
I felt emotional watching that Wrexham game. I watched Welcome to Wrexham the first season. It was fantastic football.
Yeah.
And it was a real insight to what caring about a community and a club is all about.
Yeah.
And I so wanted them to. I mean, even though Boreham Wood, my sort of local team that I would support, I wanted them to do well. I didn't want Boreham Wood to win yesterday. I wanted Wrexham to do it, and what that meant, you could see how much it meant. It wasn't a Hollywood bullshit. It was reality. It was real.
Yeah. And what we're just getting served up is absolute bullshit. You know, well, the second half came on, and I was looking at some of our players' faces, you know, and they were just looking down at their feet. They were just not interested. Not interested. The separation in that squad is they've all down tools, to be honest.
Craig, I don't know if you saw it. Sorry to cut you. I didn't know if you saw it, but I've seen it throughout the comments all night. I don't know if you saw it either, Johnny, but I'll ask you first, Craig. Apparently at 3-0, Højbjerg was laughing.
I don't know. I didn't notice that.
I've seen
to be
a
honest.
few
I was
people
probably
saying-
laughing too much myself, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't see that, Brian, in fairness. But what I didn't see was the captain come out of his goal, call a huddle, and say, what the fuck's going on, right? Sort yourself out, pointing at players.
Yeah.
Have you noticed when Arsenal play, if there's a foul or something, there's a break in play, every single player rushes over to the touchline and Arteta's pointing at them and telling you and you and you and you and you. Nothing.
Yeah.
They just stood there, goal after goal. No one went to the touchline. What should we be doing? Where are we going wrong? I didn't see anything.
Look, to be honest, I don't think Stellini's got a clue either.
He hasn't got a clue.
No, he hasn't got a clue. I think the last thing Conte said to him when he walked out the club was, Stellini, you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. I'll see you in July. Yes, boss. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? The sad thing is, Craig, come United, it's going to be the same team again.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. He won't change nothing. He's going to stick with the 3-4-3. He's going to have to, because you've seen what's happened today. I mean, who plays two wingers? Because that's what they are.
Yep.
Who plays two wingers as fullbacks? I mean, Christ, it's suicide.
In a
Absolute
four. I mean,
suicide.
it was laughable, Craig. You knew what was happening. Anyone who knew football, I've got to say, a lot of fans were calling for 4 at the back.
Yes,
A lot of fans.
when we've got the players to do it.
When you have, if you had Ben Davies and Emerson Royal, who is a right back and a left back, then you can maybe have a bash.
Yeah. Not when you've got one of the worst defenders probably in the Championship playing for you.
What was worrying me was when I saw Romain Mundle sat on the bench looking at the club, and he hasn't signed that contract yet, thinking, oh man, I've got to get out of here. And tonight the comment that Zeus, Emerson Royal's dad, saying we got to leave the club and play for the club that's going to try and win trophies.
Yeah.
This is what we've become, Craig. I mean, there are going to be such a clear out this summer, not just because we need to get rid of Deadwood.
Quick loo break, Brian.
Yeah, no worries that we need the Deadwood, Craig. Yeah. We need to get some players out, and I can't. We need to get more players out.
Who's going to take them, though, Brian?
Exactly.
Who's going to take them?
Exactly, and what value and what amount of money is are we going to be able to get from them?
Well, like John said earlier, you've got to tear up a load of contracts, unfortunately. Winksy, he's got to go. His contract's got to be torn up. Roden, he'll have to go. You know, Regdon, he'll have to tear his up. They're just, you know, I mean, what is, I nearly said his name then.
You're very
what is the man doing?
Strike.
What is the man doing? I mean, can you not? No, when these interviews, these people are coming for these jobs, I mean, does he just pick them out of a hat? Or, you know, is he actually researching and doing his due diligence on these people? This Munn chap we're getting, Scott Munn, right? Now, mark my words. Watch this space. I'll call it now. Clip it if anybody wants to. I think he's going to go for Rodgers. Okay? Now, the only reason why I understand that, I don't want him, but I personally think he could steady the ship and get in some average but technically decent players that can just play a game of football and that can pass around. If Rodgers turns us down, the next man coming through that door is going to be the Celtic manager.
Do you know what? Right now, I wouldn't mind him. I'd take him.
Yeah.
I don't where it comes right now, Craig. I don't want any of these big name players. I don't want Nagelsmann.
Nah.
I don't want Enrique because we're going to go through the same shit that we went through with Conte and Mourinho. I
The
don't want them.
our problem is, Brian, Levy. Oh, I said it. God
So,
damn it.
that's right.
Yeah.
Just
Two
say
strikes, I'm out.
out after it.
Yeah. He wants top four. That's all he wants.
Correct.
Now he's going to try and bring these managers in that can get us top four. And the honest truth is, we haven't got the players to do it. You know, we need someone that's going to come in, say company or someone young, someone eager, someone that's got a bit of passion, and just say, right, get rid of Kane, get rid of Son. Don't want him to go, but he's going to need the money to rebuild. Get all the players that have been linked to the club in the last 7 or 8 years, get them gone, get them out, and just rebuild over the next 3 or 4 years. All right, if City come calling for him, fair enough, let him go. But at least there'll be something in place ready for somebody else to come on. Because if that man doesn't do something soon, his money-making machine is going to be sitting in the Championship. Because I hate to think, honestly, Brian, I hate to think about it, and I hate to, to even have them thoughts. But like you said, take Kane out of our team this season, 16th spot.
Yep.
And if we're going to be giving new contracts to Eric Dyer and Clement Longley and Davies and these players, then there's only one way we're heading next year, especially if we don't get a top goal scorer, which we're not going to get because nobody wants to come at the club.
Top goal scorer, top goalkeeper. But anyway, Craig, listen, it's been wicked having you on, my brother. We'll get you on
too, mate.
We'll speak very soon.
Sorry, Craig, I had to go.
It's all right, mate. That was too long for a piss, that was.
That was a piss and a shut and a wash in the hands.
See you later on, Craig, brother. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, so we've got 2 more guests to go down. And the first one we got coming on is one of my brothers, someone that I love very, very dearly, back in my home country of Canada. Haven't been able to speak to him properly for I spoke to him yesterday, but let's this guy
that was a long time.
This guy, it is a long time for me and Bobby. This guy is normally trying to be as positive as they come when it comes to this. I'm going to bring Mr. Bobby K on. Bobby, my brother. Listen, obviously, once you and I have been friends for a very, very long time, and obviously you know exactly how I've been, and obviously you've come onto YouTube, you've done your streams, you got your brilliant channel, you've been a part of the community, and you've seen more and more unravel. I mean, what the hell? Oh, it's your first day of your holiday today, so what a way to start your holiday, brother, eh?
Yay!
Fire away, Bob.
Hi, Johnny. Great to meet you, man. Well, let's look at the positive, guys.
That should take. Oh, that's over.
Yeah, we're done, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're done there. 20 minutes, 5 goals. Like you wake up, feed the kids early. They had a sleepover, so there was another mouth to feed. It's like, okay, here, eat, you little brats, quickly, take it out of the way. Game's on soon now. You sit down, you're excited. It's the first day of vacation, staycation. All right, this is gonna be a fun week. Only got to renovate 1 room. Then this shit. 4-4-2. What a disaster. Did somebody tell them that they were playing 4-4-2? Because it didn't look like anybody in that back line knew their assignment. Nobody. Romero and Porro together were absolutely horrible. Dyer and Perisic on the other side, equally horrible. I wonder if Dyer was better than Romero today, and that's saying a lot.
Jesus, that is.
It's holy crap. And sorry, hello everybody in the chat, by the way. Don't forget to hit that like button. I saw how many of you were watching and what the likes were at. I'm a little disappointed. I know it's been a shitty day, but the like button costs nothing, and it helps this guy get over.
Yeah, good point. Good point, Bobby.
Well, Johnny, I'm Indian, buddy. I'm all for free stuff.
I will say now, I'll actually just to give you an update on that, Bobby. There's 123 watching right now, and we've got 128 likes. So
And we've been on for 2 hours and we've had hundreds, literally hundreds come through.
Yep.
So
Yep.
then,
Today.
well, then that means
Well
there's some,
played, everyone.
there's some here that haven't, that might not have. So just in case,
Yep.
just in case.
Just hit that like button.
Yeah, it's fuck, because there was nothing to like about that game. That's for sure. 4-4-2 clearly doesn't work. I don't think anybody knew where to be. Or
I don't think, Bobby, we haven't played 4-4-2 since...
Sorry, what was it? I don't mean 4-4-2. Sorry, just playing a back four. I don't know why.
Yeah, 4-3-3. But
yeah,
I don't think we played that since Chelsea 18 months ago or longer.
Well, we were screaming for it, I remember, a long time ago, and he switched to it one game, and we had an absolutely horrible game, and then we went right back to the 5.
Correct.
And then now we went to the 4, and this even worse happened. The one thing that was really driving me crazy, it was 3-0. It was around, I don't know, it was late into the game, 13th minute, I think. And it's you could tell they've been running around because they look tired. It was getting late into the game. They've been out there a while. It's tiring. It's hard on these guys. It's tough. I feel for them. I feel for you boys.
All that preparation in the week, Bobby.
Did they prepare?
All that preparation.
Who's running it? Because
minutes.
These guys don't know what they're doing.
Just think what you can do in 20 minutes. I mean, I haven't got enough time. 20 minutes, I haven't got enough time to do anything. They managed to ship 5 goals in that 20 minutes.
But just, Johnny, the thing that drove me crazy is like I said, at that point, at 3-0, you're watching us on the ball and you're watching Newcastle on the ball. And it was honestly levels of difference. It
1
was
year into a new ownership, Bobby.
So bad. What's that, sorry?
1 year into a new ownership. They were 19th when they took over.
Brian, that doesn't necessarily mean new ownership can change things because, our ownership has really done a great job because look how nice our stadium is. Guys, Beyonce, Joshua fought there. Like we had a world champion
We're gonna have
in our stadium.
Track,
how many people
Bobby.
can say, there you go.
Where can you abseil off of the stadium?
Where else can you do a skywalk? Other teams are copying us now. They're doing skywalks. Like we are the front runners, okay?
Bobby, we're not only with Joshua did we have a world champion fight there, we had a world champion lose his fight there. But Bobby, listen, obviously you know full well. I mean, you and me speak a hell of a lot. I mean, where are you right now?
He's in Canada.
Where you didn't know.
Where are you? Because obviously, I know it's a tough question for you because you don't like to
Brian, you know me. I'm always Captain Positive. You know what I mean? I'm getting to the point where even I'm getting pissed off with myself for my positivity because there ain't none. The last hand, you know how my schedule is. So out of the last, I think 8 games, I've got to watch 2. The Everton one, which was on the Monday a couple of weeks ago, and then this one today, and then. This is the first day of my holiday, so I'll have the privilege of watching the United loss on Thursday, and then I'll get to watch us. I might even go down to the yard and watch us get our asses kicked on Sunday too. So, like, guys, it's and I'm gonna run out the laundry room. Like, does this week get any better? Like, thank you, Spurs. I'm so excited. I'm going into this week. I'm pumped up. It's unbelievably fucking depressing.
Bobby, if you're in charge, brother, if you're in charge right now, what do you do regarding the management? If you were in charge,
fire everybody that's under me that I can fire. Fire everybody that's close to you. Fire everybody. Start a fire sale. Clear shit out, throw shit out, which we won't do. All the things we won't do, Brian, are what we need to happen. All the things that you've screamed about since the day I met you. It's not even that, Johnny, because I don't think even like, okay, so you look outside the box of the managers everybody is mentioning. There's other ones out there still that even as an interim. I know somebody's mentioning Harry Redknapp could have come in for a little bit.
I mentioned him,
so there you go. And
that was about 5-6 games ago.
Rafa Benitez, even, you know what I mean? He's sitting around doing nothing. There's some two older guys that would have come in on the cheap, probably a couple £100,000 or whatever for 8 games, or whatever.
And £1 million
who
bonus
else?
if you get
What?
top 4.
Something. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Incentive laden. That's what you need to do. How these contracts should be for these players. It should be all incentive laden. But unfortunately, that's not the way the league works. You start being the first team to do that, they're going to turn around and go sign somewhere else because they're going to want guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the bullshit end of it. But could you imagine if everybody was incentive laden, it would be unbelievable. But it's so many people have gone on about this, Johnny, that 7 years. There's players that played in this game that played Newcastle 7 years ago.
And that
are on our team. So what's that tell you? Like, I know there's so many people that were screaming for a clear out, and we've let it get to the point where it's going to be impossible to do almost.
I mentioned earlier that when Arsene Wenger left Arsenal, and you draw a parallel line under it, there's only 2 players that are still there, Xhaka and Holding. I think we've got like 8 or 9 players that are still at the club.
It's unbelievable that you could keep them there and expect to achieve greater things.
Newcastle, when they lost, to us, was it 5-1 when they beat us 5-1?
Yep.
Yeah. There's no Newcastle players left in that game, whereas we've got 5 that played today.
There you go. Doesn't that say it all right there?
Yeah,
it does. It does.
It's pathetic. It really is. And nothing's going to change because, like they say, the trickle-down effect, it doesn't matter. The only way this is going to hurt is if we end up finishing 8th, absolutely 0 European football, 0 trophies. The fans actually open their eyes and start making proper noise, not just letting these poor boys go out there in numbers of 80 or 100. When, like you guys already talked about, Arsenal stormed the Capitol. United fans stormed the Capitol.
Correct.
You can't just go and have a handful of guys and then mock them for doing it as well.
Look what happened with Poch when we lost 7-2. We lost 7-2 to Bayern Munich, right? That was Bayern Munich. Okay.
Yeah, that's when I had to talk with my kids to support somebody else.
But everyone said Poch has got to go, right? 6-1. I don't care. I don't care. Get Stellini out the frigging club. Get him out. I don't care if we lose the rest of the games with Ryan Mason. I don't want any trace of this in the club anymore. I want to see what would happen if you take him away. I had people telling me that Ryan Mason was angry and animated at times with Stellini. I don't know if there's any truth in that at all. Because rumors can become fact.
He should be. But I know Brian's trying to kick me out here because I know his body language. He starts doing this shit and hold on, and he tries to cut in. But you keep talking and you don't let him do it, right? And then it's more fun like that, Johnny, because it bugs him. Like right now, he's going crazy. He's like, I got somebody else waiting. I got a timer. I got to go.
I would love to have it. We've got a couple of people, a latecomer, which will be the last guest after Nick. And I've got work tomorrow, and I've got to be in the office, brother. And you know I love you. I'd never kick you off. I just
no worries, buddy.
I've started to get more and more.
When they said live, I didn't realise it would be 24-hour live.
Yeah, but mate, don't tempt me. If I could bitch about leaving for 20, but Bobby, before my brother, I let you go. Big up your channel.
Oh, you know where it is, guys. Three Spurs boys, jump on over, but give these boys some love here. Make sure you're subbing everybody
Bobby,
that's
give me
coming
a follow,
in. All the links
Bobby, and then I
can
follow you back, mate.
Okay, well,
that's his Twitter handle.
Okay,
there,
yeah. Okay, so I just put that in Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get one of the kids to show me.
Johnny H3232.
Yeah, no, I'll figure it out. Follow you back.
Sounds good, Johnny. Nice to meet you, man. Have a good night, boys. Brian, good to see you. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah,
good night, everybody in the chat. Everything sucks right now. Come on, you Spurs.
It's always tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Bobby.
Yeah.
See you later, Bobby, brother. Right, we've got 2 people to go, and it's time to bring on the man of 1,000 names.
1,000 names,
mate. He's got 1,000. Mate, he's got 1,000 names.
Has he been banned that many times?
No, he goes by Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil, Grant, Arthur. They are going to put on a show for you, and it's time to bring on. Once I can get Bobby to just leave the studio.
Has he got an identity crisis?
No, he hasn't got an identity. But this is now just to let you know.
Today he's Barry.
This is one of the most positive Spurs fans you ever find, but he does have a breaking point, and when he breaks, and another one that was with me at the very, very, very first day of the training ground.
At least he's wearing black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm still wearing this actually. But Nick, first of all, brother, how are you? And then second of all, fill your goddamn boots, brother.
I mean, how am I? Stunned, surprised, not really. Just obviously, look, I couldn't believe it. Right, obviously, my phone, like everyone else's phone, I was just looking at it, going, just seeing notification, and I was like, I can't look at it. I can't look at my phone because I know exactly what's happening. Laura got up, right, went to the kitchen just as it kicked off, made herself something which took 5 minutes. She's come back and she's gone, what's going on? And then at that point, they scored their third. And she's like, oh, do you want a drink? And I was like, yeah, get me the whole box. And I was literally just stood there, like, watching it, like, I didn't know what to do. I was listening to Ben and Sim. I was listening to expressions. I just didn't know what to do. And you know me, I'm like the most positive. And Scott M will say happy clapper. But this football club, man, honestly, this football club. And for all those people that are in the chat, all those people that wanted to come for me for Emerson Royal, I've got those forms. Those apology forms are printed out. Because
hey, Barry, I'm in that club, mate. I was supporting him all the way, Barry.
He was
from the moment. So on the group, so on the We Are Tottenham TV watch along group. Obviously, the last few weeks, everyone's been trying to find out if people been flip-flopping, everything else. They went back to June 2022 when he signed. Couldn't find it. I didn't say a bad word about him, right? And I'm going to say it. And I said it. I said 2 weeks ago, I thought he was our second best defender. I actually think he's our best defender. Romero, for me, is only being made to look good because the rest of them are that bad. Romero, for me, we've turned the best defender in Italy into the worst defender in the whole of England.
Yeah, but Nick, don't remember when he goes and plays for Argentina and has world-class players around him, he wins the World Cup.
Like Hugo does, like our captain that went and had a little hissy fit and then didn't come out at half-time. He's an absolute embarrassment.
Do you believe he got injured? Because I don't,
No.
because he couldn't even give a straight answer. What's wrong? Yeah, okay.
There was no injury whatsoever.
No.
He was embarrassed. I mean, look, like I said earlier, 1-1 second half. Actually, Newcastle should be embarrassed because we fucking didn't concede for 70 minutes. So, you know, or one
they
goal
had
in
their
70
chances,
minutes.
Nick. I don't know how they didn't score more. I don't know how they didn't score more.
They missed a countless chances. They could have been 8 or 9.
It could have been. I mean, Nick, obviously, I mean, I feel sorry for you. Like I said, I did my bollocks on We Are Tottenham TV. I went batshit crazy, and I did a big thing to Ben and Sim, and I've said it to you before after the Bournemouth game, saying, "Do you know how hard it is?" People need to understand when people are doing these watch-alongs. When you go to the game, you're there. You can let out your anger, your emotion. You can bitch, you can moan, you can do whatever. When you're watching it at home, you can do the same. But when you're having to sit there in a studio, whether it be for We Are Tottenham TV or any of the other channels that do a watch along, for any other clubs that do a watch along, and you have to try and stay not positive, but broadcast that and not let your real emotions out. I mean, Nick, I feel for you for next Thursday for Manchester United.
Well, look, I guess the only positive for Ben and Sim today is, and I sent this to him, and so I said, I bet you're glad you're not in Newcastle. But I'm going to be at Anfield on Sunday. I'm like sitting here going, oh my God. If
Jonny,
if
are you
it wasn't...
Newcastle Sunday? Sorry, you at Anfield Sunday.
I'm at Anfield
No,
on
listen,
Sunday,
I'm still
yeah.
smarting from the 7-0 that I witnessed. I went to Anfield and we lost 7-0. I've been 7-0. I've been 8-2 against Derby. I've witnessed some bad scores in my time. But today, 5 goals in 20 minutes. And as I think someone pointed out before, we've seen the Giants play the Minnows before in many games in the FA Cup, in Champions League, but I don't ever remember seeing anything like that.
No. And to Scott M, there's no way we're losing 10-0 if Royal played. Royal's a right back, and we played 4-3-3. So, and for all those people that were kissing ass on Pedro Porro, you are all in the fucking mud. All of you. Because he, again, showed that he cannot defend. Him and we played 4 at the back, and we looked better when Sanchez came on. And we were booing him last week.
I know. And you know what, Barry? It's not Porro's fault. Because Porro is not a defender.
No,
he's
exactly.
more of a winger. At Man City, he was a winger. He was more of a midfield come winger.
It brings you to the point now where you get to the point where we wasted the whole of January trying to get this deal done. Now, listen, I think Porro will, in the right manager for 18 months, may turn out well. But come on, this right wing back has been an issue since Walker left. Then Spence came. We're like, oh, there might be someone for the future there. There might be. Oh, no, it's a club signing. Off you go. Then we go and spend all this money on Porro. That's it. We've got the attacking right back. Since Carl Walker left for 50 million, we've spent over £100 million trying to get the right back.
Yeah.
How many right backs have we got at the moment? I've lost count.
Emerson.
Spence.
Porro.
And probably because Matt Doherty will be free, he'll come back in the summer because we cocked up the whole players out on loan and everything else.
Yeah,
right? So,
as a club, how would you possibly know what the rules are that you can only loan out 8
players? Because Paratici was the Don, wasn't he? He was cooking. He was doing all these things that everyone was blowing smoke up his ass. It was just
can only sign someone if they're about to be convicted. I mean, we've had, as I said before, Stellini banned for 2 years match fixing, Conte banned 10-month match fixing, Paratici banned for 2.5 years.
But now they're still Vincent Company as well.
Fraud. And
now
the Vincent Company has now been investigated. Well, allegedly, Burnley have been investigated for fielding a much weakened team against Reading. You know, so if he gets charged, we should give him the job straight away, really.
Oh yeah, like prison FC. That's what we'll be. We might as well go after Mason Greenwood, Thomas.
Can we not get
because they've allegedly done things as well.
Get the Zagreb manager who's still doing birding.
And Gylfi Sigurdsson's just been acquitted, so we could get him as well.
Get him in prison.
Sigurdsson, Greenwood.
Yeah, but look, Brian. I sent this to you as well.
Yeah, I'll make you read it.
Yeah. So, if you're looking out of the squad that we've got, okay, or the potentially 25-man squad coming back in the summer, players out on loan who've been surplus to requirements: Ndombele, Lo Celso, Winks, Reguilon, Hill, and Roden. Players who should be sold who aren't good enough: Dyer, Sanchez, Cess, Tanganga, Davis, Højbjerg. I mean, I will put Emerson in there, but because he's on the list. I mean, I wouldn't, but the list.
I'd take him off that list, but he's now wants to leave of his own accord.
Yeah. Players who are already leaving: Lucas, Hugo, Danjuma, Longley. Although that's a question mark, because we're probably going to sign him. Perisic and Kane is the contract situation. Basically, only the 19 players of a 25-man squad whose future is up in the air or who need to leave for this club to compete. So. We all sit there and go, what's going on? Europe's broke. They don't have any money, so they're not.
Thank you, Barry. I've told everybody this.
No one in Europe's signing anyone. None of these players, apart from Kane and Son, get into any other Premier League side. None of them. I don't care. Romero doesn't get into any other top 6 side, let alone. I mean, might get into Bournemouth, maybe, I suppose, but Hugo certainly doesn't. And I think. I just don't see what happens. I just don't see where we're going. We are literally. I said at the start of this, me and Brian sat there. We booked hotels for bloody Champions League final.
Yeah, last June when I was over for Ben's wedding and my birthday, we booked after the summer of spending. We booked 6 rooms in Turkey, ready for the Champions League. And then we were together when you cancelled them. When we went out to Milan, and I went on a rant. I mean, Nick, final things I want to get Haz on.
Okay.
What? How do you see seriously? How do you see the final part of this season going? Seriously.
Look, I said, everyone was saying how many points from the last 9 games. I said 9. Well, fuck me. I don't even think we're going to get 6 at this rate.
Fucking you! I can tell you're positive, Barry. You told me.
Oh, mate, he normally is. He normally is.
9 points.
9 points. Well, yeah. I mean, where are we seeing those 2 wins from? Palace and Leeds, maybe, but Leeds might need to win to stay up on the last game of the season. We'll be in 8th because, look, before we play Man United, Villa will be above us. Liverpool could be above us as well because their goal difference is far superior. And then Brighton, I think, how many games have Brighton got in hand? About 1,800 games in hand on us?
They got about 4 games in hand.
Brighton have got 3 games in hand, right?
Yeah.
And they don't play.
They deserve to be above us.
Yep.
Brighton play Forest on Wednesday, so Brighton could be 1 point behind us with 2 games in hand, right? So that puts us in 8th.
And they got robbed. The only game we won was the game we robbed. VAR was playing for us up front.
Exactly. So look, we are we are we're going to finish 8th. That's that. If we finish anywhere apart from 8th, I don't even.
Do you know who he should get on the phone to, Barry?
Sorry?
He should get on the phone right now to Jose.
No, I don't think anything's. Look, we know what needs to happen. The only thing I would say for all the people in the chat and all the people that goes to all these other channels, look, for me, I'm with you, Johnny, right? I want a bit of peace and I want a bit of love, right? Don't start mentioning people's names. Please don't start calling people out. This person said this and that person said that.
Correct.
Just remember, unless you see it with your own eyes and hear it with your own ears, it's what that person's telling you. And that's the problem with the fan base at the moment. So I know we sit there and say the fans are the problem. Yes, in turn, some of it is the fans' fault. But we need to be very careful how we use that, and we need to be very careful what we're doing, because obviously tonight's been another poor result. Everyone's going to go into meltdown, and I know exactly what this narrative is going to be. Oh, he said that on that show. She said that on this show. The dog said that on that show. That person's the problem. I'm going to go after him on Twitter. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to do everything else. Just relax, guys.
They
we
know
know
how
what
to
needs
come
to
after
happen.
you on Twitter.
Yeah. So
I put something up about Lloris being at fault. I ended up taking it down, Barry, because the abuse that came. You think I was playing in goal? I thought I was playing in goal. The amount of abuse that came my way just for saying saying Hugo Fabianski, I took it down to 3-0, and then the next 2 goals were 100% his fault.
No, exactly. And look. So I get it. We're all emotional. Look, for me, I'm in it out. Unfortunately, I'm also realistic, and I think, and I've said this to Brian before, unless that magic number's hit, no one's going anywhere, right?
Correct.
And I get it. If we try and empty the stadium, and this is not by any means trying to put down what Brian does, anyone else at the protest does, everything. I've been to the protest, but what I'm saying is we all need to come together. We all need to be as one. We need to support Brian and the guys at the protest. Look, whatever people think, laugh, whatever you want, but you'll be the same people going into the stadium and the same people moaning and trolling people on Twitter. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Don't make a mockery of people that want to try and do something, because they're trying to make some change. That's what they want to do. Support them, and don't be a horrible version of yourself. That's all I'm going to say.
Well said, Nick. And just finally, before I let you go, big up your channel.
Well, it won't be on this Thursday, thankfully, because I'm doing the watch along with Marlon.
Of course.
Just before you go, Barry, sorry to interrupt you. You know, all these people that have been slagging off Emerson, and I stood by him all the way. And I just had to, Emerson, Zulu's agent and father of Emerson Royal, there is a great possibility that Emerson will leave Tottenham. We want that. We believe it's time for him to take a bigger leap and go to a team that fights for titles, a giant. I think he fits Real Madrid. But no, our Spurs fans think he's the shittiest, worst defender to ever play for the club.
Whoa,
Not
Real Madrid,
playing for the
Real
club,
Madrid. Whoa,
ever.
whoa. Real Madrid. Let's.
No, I'm just
That's
saying.
why.
I'm not
That's
saying
why
he's
I
Real
love
Madrid.
Emerson Royal, because not only does he come out when he's selected for the Brazil squad with some funky video on Instagram, right? His dad's coming out saying, "Well, we think he's good for Real Madrid." Yeah, we think
As an ex-Barcelona player, Nick. As an ex-Barcelona player. But
Yeah,
Nick,
listen, it's all hype. It's all hype. But let's be honest, right? You know, who wants to play for this club? I'd want to get a taxi. Romero, he probably wants out. They're all want out.
Well, Romero said if Conte was still there, he wanted out. Would you know what, Romero? If you don't want to be there, you can fuck off, mate, because we want people playing for the shirt and playing for the badge. Like, even when the goal went in, it was like, you know, Kane was like, oh, it's me again. 24 goals he's scored. He's got all those dickheads surrounding him. How the hell he's scored 24 goals pretty much by himself is beyond me. You know?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Look, it is what it is. Look, I can't see us. Look, Man United. Look, they today they were playing a right back at centre back, a left back at right back. They were playing people so far out of position. We don't even have defenders that can defend. So, look,
but they've got a manager that knows what he's doing.
Exactly, and look, we could get lucky. We could get lucky because they've gone to extra time. They may have some injuries, but look, isn't it funny, Brian? Like you said. The last time you were here and everything was ringing around the stadium, it was the Man United game.
Yep.
And it's gone full circle. So, look, if you're there, look, what I think we need to realise is look, Pochettino's not coming back. Pochettino's not the answer. Look, we need to decide what we want. The only thing that changes something at this football club is we have new ownership and a new direction, or actually a direction, because we don't know what we have at the moment. And sitting there and arguing amongst ourselves and shouting, he's magic, you know. Well, he couldn't even really do much at PSG with all the players that he had. So let's be honest. It's just the younger fans that have seen that's the way that we played football. But look, anyway, I know you want to go. I know Haz is in the background. And thank you for having me on.
Big up the channel quickly, Nick.
And Thursdays, Shelfside Spurs show. Come and have a laugh. We don't really talk about football because it's depressing, and we'd rather have a laugh, quizzes, and everything else. May the 4th is it May the 4th? The next one, Star Wars Day. Sim's going to be on to do his White Hart Memory Lane, so we'll find out what mayhem Sims got up to when he was a youngster. So
there we go, Nick, brother. Love you loads. We'll speak later on.
Big up, guys.
See you later.
Take care, Barry.
Take care,
right,
Johnny.
We've got one more guest, and just to bring up a super chat, but I can see you found the link because he's in the background. So I'll speak to you after the show, Strasbourg Steve. Right, last guest. I saw him come on beforehand, and then he disappeared, and now he's back again. We're going to deal with Hotspur. Brother,
hey,
what's up?
Right.
How you doing, buddy?
You're right, Johnny. You're right.
Yeah.
Where do we begin with?
Hotspur, off you go.
Well, I don't know why people were sitting here surprised with the result today. Number one, because I predicted we lose 4-0 on the show on Friday night, so I wasn't surprised at all. I was more surprised that we went to a back four and we conceded more. So there you are. You got what you asked for. You went to back four and we lost even more. So yeah, there you go. Be careful what you wish for. For people who want Conte out, be careful what you wish for. He's left. We look even worse, in my opinion. So clearly, it's the players. But when you're hearing stuff like Dyer's getting a new 3-year contract, what fucking hope do we have? What fucking hope do we have if Dyer gets a 3-year contract?
Dyer, Davis, and Lloris all getting new contracts.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if Lloris gets one, please just move upstairs to a coach. Just please move upstairs to a coach if that's what you.
I'm happy with him to stay on and be a coach at the club.
That's it. But
please don't try and catch a ball anymore or kick a ball.
If he gets that contract, but Hotspur, I want to say, obviously, you were with me in January.
Yep.
You've been Levy out for a long time.
10 years. Just over 10 years.
How
10 years.
How is there still nothing I mean, I can't believe. I mean, people. I've had people say to me, "Why couldn't I hear Levy out chants today?" Now, I will say, I don't know if the fan base tried it, but for people that haven't been to St James's Park, they put you right up in the goddamn gods, as high can be. I did hear a few Spurs songs today.
Brian, can I just say to you, I spoke
Yep.
to Billy.
Yep.
And Billy told me that he
Did
tried
they try and
to
start some or something?
Billy tried to start some. He told me he tried to start some Levy out, and people gave him dirty looks, and it all stopped. These are people. If you can't get people who've travelled all the way up to Newcastle, away fans, the hardest core fans, are sitting there at 5-0, and they give him a dirty look when he starts singing "Daniel Levy, get out of our club." I mean, what chance have he got?
Yeah, this is where we are, isn't it? It has. This is
the
where
problem,
we're actually at.
The problem is, I think it's two things. Number one, because Levy does this every time, right? He pushes people to the brink of desperation. So right now, there are some people out there who will just be grateful that we get a young manager because they want this new youth project. Just be grateful. Like, they'll be happy with that in the summer. Like, even people we know and we do YouTube with will be happy with just a young manager with a project because they're trying to copy what Arsenal are doing, right? And I think we as fans need to be demanding more, right? I'm sick of waiting to win, honestly, personally, which is why I was more for Jose and Conte, because I thought we'll bring them in and maybe through some divine miracle, Levy will finally spend some money. But obviously that didn't happen. But I think we're doomed to repeat the same cycle every 2 years, 3 years, whichever manager. You could pick any manager out there. I mean, it'll be Brendan Rodgers maybe, and then it'll be Potter, next will be, any manager. And if we're doomed to repeat the same cycle, I think eventually these players like Dyer and Sanchez, or one or two of them, will go eventually, like in maybe 5-6 years. I don't know. But I'm sure they'll be replaced with someone just as bad. And
on the cheap, yeah.
On the cheap, yeah. But like, for me, it's not like, personally, I don't think this squad or personnel can play any formation. And it's a miracle that Kane's got 24 goals. I don't know how he scored 24 goals, but I just don't see a solution to the problem unless Levy goes. I really don't. And so I kind of lost my marbles on Marlon's show, but I calmed down a bit.
I've got to be honest with you. Since Benton Core's been injured,
yeah,
Kane's been our best striker, our best midfielder, and our best defender in corners. I think he's headed away more balls off the line and headers.
Well, there was a stat under Jose during the COVID season. Harry Kane was the first striker to have 30 goals, 30 something else in the box, and 30 headers in our own box in one season.
Really? Oh wow!
Yeah, 30 key passes, 30 30 shots, and 30 headers from different.
Well, we all know what heading the ball can do to you, so maybe he's discombobulated and he thinks he's at Man United because that's the only bloody way he's going to stay. Why would you want to stay at this club? No one can blame him if he left. I certainly could not blame him.
Clap him off.
And let's be honest,
he deserves better.
Not been for the fact that he'd fallen out with Pochettino, right? He did fall out with Pochettino. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw him at Chelsea. I
think Kane could go to Newcastle or Chelsea or United in the summer. I wouldn't take any of those teams off the table. And I think Liverpool's like a dark horse because if they get fed up with Núñez, they might try for Kane. You never know. I think he could go. Personally, for me, even if he went Chelsea, I was reading stuff that people would call him a Judas and stuff. I wouldn't. As far as I'm concerned, I hate Arsenal more than Chelsea anyway. But also, he deserves better. So he's done, 10 years at Tottenham? Is it 10 years? Something like that?
Well,
he's given us enough. And I don't know if you heard, but apparently there was a bust up at half-time. That's why Lloris
I heard that between Dyer and Lloris.
Yeah. So this whole injury thing's a load of nonsense.
Of course it is. It'll be a goal on Thursday, right as rain.
Yeah.
The thing is, that when he was asked the question, what was the problem? He said too many errs, right? If you've got an injury, you straight away say, I've injured my hip, right?
Yeah.
You don't go,
he didn't come up with a cast or anything. He didn't come out with
No.
Has are you coming to United?
Yeah.
Please. I mean, like I said, I'm going to be calling out on everyone to try and get to the protest. Or
No,
whatever.
I saw your thing earlier, so I'm coming with someone as well. So
yep, and I'm
99%
gonna
sure.
be posting it on social media. I was gonna do it tonight, but I wanted to get max exposure, so I'm gonna do it tomorrow morning because this is the only way it's gonna happen now, isn't it? And it has.
The problem is though, is it's not us, it's other people. Like when they see you post stuff like that, or Stell gone a rant, or me. Like, I've even had people argue with me about Levy still on Twitter, yeah. And I'm just, nowadays I just don't bother replying because I'm just sick of it. I just can't bother.
I've got to learn that, as you know, I've got to learn to not engage when the abuse comes calling.
Yeah. Jonny, I used to be one of the worst people. Yeah, if we're talking during the Poch era, I was on Twitter like 24/7 arguing with people about Levy.
Well,
the amount of shit I got during that window when we signed Wanyama and Kudi was unbelievable.
Has I want you to quickly do your plug for your channel because I've got work tomorrow. It's 25 to 10. And I've got to get up damn early. I'm sorry it's short, mate. It's just been a very, very, very long stream and I need to calm down.
2.5 hours. So
yeah. So tell everyone where they can find you, brother.
So apart from so tomorrow evening I'll be on Harry Scarf show. You know Harry Scarf?
Oh, I'm on that show.
You're on that show with me, aren't you? Yeah. So we'll be together on that show tomorrow.
And the great Billy Carnes
Billy
will be
as well.
with us.
Yeah. I'm also probably on United fan show either tomorrow beforehand or Tuesday to preview United game. My preview of United's gonna probably fall on the Wednesday now, at around 6ish. So yeah, so if you're going to subscribe and jump in the show if you want, I always leave the link in the description. So, so yeah, please go subscribe to my channel, Hotspur TV, and follow me on Twitter, Hotspur92. So it's pretty similar. I can't imagine you get confused by it. So.
Well, there you go. Well, Hotspur, thank you very much, my brother.
As I've just followed you on Twitter, mate. I was following you before, but that was on my old account.
I didn't know you had a new account.
No, I got deleted for a keepy uppy video of Ancelotti and Grime.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah, it was, mate. You saw in our group. That he got banned.
I just woke up to a permanent ban, which is just ludicrous. There's no one to argue with now on Twitter. It's
you can't argue with Elon Musk, can you?
No. But there you go. But Hotspur, listen, we'll catch you later on, brother.
Yeah, take care, man.
Take care, buddy. See you later.
Right.
Bye.
Jonny, I just want to say thank you for doing the first live with me.
Thank you, Brian, for having me on.
Mate, it's a pleasure.
What I thought was an hour or half an hour turned into about 3. Is it? Oh,
2 hours, 37 minutes bang on right now. Everyone check out Jonny's Twitter at JohnnyH3232. Guys, most importantly, and I do mean most importantly, Thursday night, we'll be there from 5:30. I know people have got work or whatever, but if you can get there, be there. And if you can't get there, at least make some noise during the game because this is the time, this is the moment where we literally try and get this club back from the... I had to be very careful. I almost went on a really...
Don't ruin it now.
From that man. So listen, everybody, like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, Levy out.